Welcome back to the M3 podcast. Got the CP crew on, Cory, Austin, and we got old Darby. It's been a minute since Darby's been on too.
Yeah,
so
has been.
I think this is gonna be a good one. We were informing Cory what the TikTok shop was, so it's news to him that we'll fill him in on today. But I think a lot's been going on at CP, and we were trying to figure out when the last time we podcasted. A year ago.
Anybody look that up?
Oh, okay.
I know it's still pinned to the top of the Instagram profile.
I know that. That's because Houston was on there.
Yeah, we got multiples. This is like CP episode number 4. I'm thinking. I think it's 4. I know I've podcasted twice here with you guys.
This is my third time.
Is this your third time?
This is my third time. Then we've had Cameron.
No, because we had Cameron on, we had Houston on, and then you and Ryan.
But
There's two of you and Ryan.
This is my third one here.
Yeah.
And I've done one at the other facility.
So it is number 4. 8 months ago. Perfect. All right.
But if my memory serves, the actual CP 6 podcast total. Better check on that. I got a memory like an elephant.
We're after it. All right, so let's for people, if this is their first time listening to an episode with you on, let's do a quick backstory. Time frame when CP started, kind of the come up of CP, where we're at today.
Well, 2014 into 15. Where we decided to create CP. But been a long journey, but also feels like it was just yesterday. So a lot's happened. Good growth. Great people have joined our forces, and here we are building new relationships on a daily basis, which is a huge part of MMG. So, but we're doing things now that has always been a vision. But I never thought we would get here as quick as we have. It's been impressive. Just looking back at it, kind of had a little bit of an emotion hit me. I think it was Monday. I'm going to be that guy. My eyes got watery. But I was out there on 35. Hadn't been out there for a few days, and that's when we officially shut the project down. So I was just out taking it all in, just doing some observation. I was standing on a damn rock pile, watching the crusher go. It's like, damn, can't believe we're doing it. You watch the whole operations go and just everybody moving just precisely, and the communications well. Just set me back a little bit to think that was 10 years ago we decided to open up the doors, and I think I told you before I didn't have $2,000 in my checking account. Didn't know if we were going to make it to the end of the month to be able to pay the house payment. So it's been quite the journey. It's been an impressive journey.
I'll attest to that. Watching from the outside in, just watching what you guys have done, and it's and I've always been very grateful for the partnership, but it is those moments do hit you. Just I feel like they're so randomized when you're standing there at that point that you kind of look around, because it's a lot of great entrepreneurs I'm around, a lot of great business owners. They're just so set on the vision. That vision lives. Like, the way I look at MMG every day isn't in what our daily operations look like. It's not what's happening now. It's the 3 years from now, the 5 years from now. But then sometimes you stop and you're like, that vision that I had 3 years ago now is a reality. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it just happens so fast that you don't take that time to stop to say, like, enjoy the journey while it's happening. Yeah. Because what are you guys up to staffing-wise now?
We're averaging still, right around 80, 85 people. But, that's 30 more people than what it was 2 years ago. So, there's a lot to look back on. To think, Austin, we have never really, we talk about the mining side, and everything that we're doing over there and that growth. Obviously that was an acquisition that we discussed. That happened in 2020. But Austin's been with us basically since day one when we took on that division. And just to think that's That's been 5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say January will be 6.
Yeah. So it just, you blink, and I feel like we still pulled into the very first location. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. Started snowing, and we was like, "Do we shut down? No, we can't afford to shut down." So we waded through the mud and asked a lot of questions. We had a lot of support, but it really is. I don't know. It sets you back a little bit when you think about it. Just think that he's been with us 5 years. He's been a major part of our whole operation.
So how'd you guys get connected at that point in 2020?
His truck driver's my neighbor, or old truck driver's my neighbor. So that's how that started.
Oh, Matty Home. Oh, no way. You're talking about
Trevor,
yeah. That's right.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. They lured him in, and he's been screwed ever since.
Pretty much.
So that was something I always enjoyed, that story of acquiring the mining side of things. That I want to kind of reemphasize that, because I think we probably discussed it the very first podcast, and I don't think we've probably discussed it since. But let's cover that story again, that you getting into the mining side.
Everyone thought I was nuts, which I probably was. Just
It takes a little bit of crazy to be something crazy.
Yeah, I walk around with a wheelbarrow because I got to put my balls in it.
That's going to be the real Stan walking around. AI Cory's face on Stan.
I've been told that a lot, but it's just an opportunity that came. We had a lot of good relation out there that I think believed in us. And they knew that there was some need in our area, so we took a risk and did a job.
Did they believe in you, or think you're stupid enough to try it?
Stupid enough to try it, probably. Stupid enough to try it, but we just submitted a bid, and had some ups and downs. Like I said, we didn't know what we were going to do, and that was still just with the excavating operation. We were just trying to expand our market there. But once we got a grasp of it, 6 months into it, you go from not 1 month not knowing what the heck you're doing to 6 months. I'm trying to buy a company, just to be able to expand our operations, just because I see the opportunity. And that was my vision. I just seen the opportunity, and and it wasn't a year into that whole operations we created CP Mining, and we basically doubled in size overnight.
So what was the opportunity that you were seeing at that point?
Several angles. A lot of it was just relation, and when you make that relation, you open the doors for other opportunities. Who our partnership with is now, and they're large, they're nationwide, and that has just continued to open this door. And then you get through that door, and you prove that you can continue to be successful and provide the resources that's needed. And then you get another door open. So it's just constantly revolving. There's just more opportunity that comes, and I think people believe in us. They see that we're the group that doesn't shy down. Have we failed? Heck yeah, we failed. But we get up and we continue to go. So that's really what I seen. So that vision that I did see, there in 2020, through everything that we were going through, as a world, during that time, we didn't let it slow us down. It just.
He did make us wear masks in the equipment.
This is true. You actually probably got fired if I see you wearing a mask.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I always tell people when COVID hit, if you cleared Kearney, COVID was gone. Kearney was like that area where COVID all stopped.
Yeah.
So I would go up to McCorkle's and sit up there and eat and have drinks, and people were like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, if you go north,
does not exist.
Yeah, the Amish never knew it happened. So
this is true.
Yeah, they won't even watch this podcast, so it doesn't even matter. But no, it was crazy that was a thing at time. Like, I remember going to the gym, and Genesis sits Kansas City address on this side, and when they implemented that you had to wear a mask when you worked out, So I went in there, and the guy's like, hey, you have to put a mask on. It was Logan, Dre, Dalton, and I. We come walking in, and like, yeah, put masks on. I look at the guy, and I go, if you can physically put a fucking mask on me, I'll wear one. And this guy looks at me. He's like, no, sir, I really need you to put a mask on. I go, really? I'm not putting a fucking mask on. And I walk right by him. And we go and start working out. And we go in there. There's probably like 40 people in there. Within like 10 minutes, nobody has a mask on. And he came over, and he goes, man, no one's wearing them now because you guys aren't wearing them, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you can explain to me how I-35 stops COVID, because that side of Liberty doesn't have to wear them. I was like, this side does. I'm like, if you can explain that science to me, I'm all ears, bud. It was just like, it was crazy what wild times we lived in and how sheep-like people became.
And now, flip script, 2025, those same people are trying to make it to where ICE can't wear masks. All right, I'm confused. Tomato.
Yep. Now we're getting all twisted.
Yeah.
But so in 2020, starting to mine spot, I mean, during a weird time in our world, did that industry slow down whatsoever as a whole? Like, were you looking at it saying like, hey, I'm fearful of what's happening as an economy. I'm fearful of what's happening government-wise, or did that really even take into account?
No, I think we've explained before that, when we took this jump anyway, when we decided in 2019 to go into that world, we didn't know COVID. I mean, COVID was March, I think, April, when COVID got real serious. We didn't know. We had already jumped in. So the fact that construction, the blue-collar industry was booming, housing was just going nuts, infrastructure, there was no sign. Did everybody get nervous during that, I'm going to call it a 3-month lull? You have to do this. You have to do that. The world shut down for, I don't know, maybe 5 days.
It was 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Right. I mean, so there was I'm going to call it a hesitation. Everybody become real reserved. Let's see what happens. But we actually never stopped working. And, once that kind of everybody woke up a little bit, it just kicked right off, and it almost doubled. And the next thing you know, 21, it tripled. 22, it just kept carrying from everything that
21 was our biggest year.
21 was our biggest year. Yeah. But I mean, we were in Iowa. We were all over the place, stripping on that side. So it was just nonstop. Yeah. And I wouldn't do anything necessarily different for the most part. Obviously, you can always pick apart.
Well, I also think a lot of times when people look back to do something different, it's based on knowledge that they have now.
100%.
But you have the knowledge you have today because of the mistake you learned at that point. 100%. So everyone wants to go back, and like when I look back at things I would have done differently, the things I did wrong are none of the things I would change. Like those are the best pieces of the puzzle to acquire. To say, hey, I know not to do that again. Hey, I know not to do that again. And then that's what builds people. That's what builds the knowledge side that I think a lot of people will discount. That it's.
I think you also get to the point, the more you're into this and doing what we do on a day-to-day basis, you learn how to strategize. Before we were making decisions like, hey, it's all in. It's all or nothing. You're going to lose it, or you're going to make it big. Now that you get to a certain point to where you have a little bit of control, you can make, strategize, good strategy into your next decisions, or to make, because not only then we had 5 people to worry about, with their families putting food on the table. Now you're looking at, if you have 85 employees, you got their spouses, you've got their kids. You take, depending on the amount of kids they have, you can be the responsible up to 300 people, depending on the kids. I'm just throwing numbers, but that's all on you. So you have to strategize going into decisions. You want to make sure you keep them working in front of everybody, and I think that helps with experience. So, and that's what I feel that has become a good trait of mine, is I'm able to look, I don't know, a year down the road, year and a half down the road, playing the markets, understanding what's coming. I think that's why we're at the stage we're at now, because everybody's seen it here in Kansas City. The housing development slowed down a little bit, just in general commercial industry. So we made some decisions here about a year and a half ago. Let's go public. You know, we need to start, looking at public work. And, so we established, good bonding, made sure that, our financials were, in a good state, that we were able to go do those things. Heck, we're on I-35 doing a total of 16 miles of reconstruction. I would have never told you 5 years ago we'd be on I-35 doing those things. Was that a vision? Heck yeah. I mean, driving by all these guys, I want to be those. I want to be them. I want to put our people in that position. And so it's breathtaking, really, to understand that that's where we're at today. Strategizing and understanding what the economy does, it goes ups and downs. You just got to set yourself up for what is given to you. Yeah. And once you're able to do that, you'll always be successful.
I think I read a lot, but Patrick Bet-David writes a book on you. Do what?
I don't read it all.
Well, you should. It's sharpens the brain. Yeah. But Patrick Bet-David wrote a book, Your Next 5 Moves, but it just talks about playing in front of yourself, that there's so many people that just play today's game. They're just so reactive in what they're doing. Yeah. I think when you start strategizing in the future, you start becoming so proactive in what you're doing that I tell people daily, I'm like, if we both jump in our vehicles and we're going to Beverly Hills, I get to use navigation and you don't, I guarantee you I'll beat you every time. Mm-hmm. You're just going to head west. But you look at that, and that's having a roadmap to where you're going, and having a direction and having strategy to say, hey, this is what I see happening. That if we're going to head west, we're going to go through Colorado, you're going to hit weather, you're going to hit these things. Like, understand those things that before they come, instead of just all of a sudden ending up in the mountains of Colorado while it's snowing in a Camry. That's just not thinking ahead.
Right.
Like, not strategizing on something that you can foresee, actually, if you pay attention further enough ahead. So, like, that's what we've started doing in, like, account size, like volume, that we know sales office is going to generate X every month. So we know at certain points, like, we know the staffing that we're going to need, or we're hiring them in advance to where they can go through the training phase earlier, to where they're ready, to where we're not dropping accounts because we hired some new person that has no idea what they're doing. They dump everything onto them. So it's just becoming more proactive in what you're doing, which also comes with financially figuring out how things work, because that was always something that was difficult to figure out on the front side. With really quick scale comes a lot of
financial burden or responsibility.
A lot of capital raise and movement that sometimes, like, our biggest pain points in MMG so far have been in our biggest moving points. Like, pretty much every time we have a shit ton of stuff happens, I'm like, this isn't going the right way. I'm like, all this stuff comes out, and makeup goes, I'm like, so it's almost like we've started treading differently on how fast we onboard, like onboarding at a little bit different pace, where it's like, make sure it's sustainable, that in the future, like, but it's stockpiling to we can go make those big moves and be set for them.
Yeah. You hit that spot on.
That's probably something that I think is one of the most difficult things figuring out as like a early business owner, is figuring out financials, figuring out what that looks like, figuring out how to even control that, and also figuring out how to disconnect that business finances from personal finances. Because there gets to a level of business finances, you can't wrap a personal finance head around business finances. Not at all. They're like,
not at all.
It climbs so fast, and it's like you can't be attached to that money. Like, it's something that just moves and it works, and it's part of the system. But there's early business owners I see out there, and still people that have been in business for 20 years, that it's tied directly together, and they've just created their employee of their own. They'll never break that system because they've never separated the business in themselves.
It's probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my position, to quit looking at finances every day. The time that I quit doing that, the less stress I was, because you see what's coming in and then you see what's going out. You're wondering how in the fuck you're gonna get this to, make this work at the end of the week. And I've learned to just, you need to ignore some of it, and you still got to stay on top of it. But looking at it every day as a business owner, it'll stress you out to no end, because you'll think, well, I'm gonna fail. There's no way I can make these payments, or whatever it is, make payroll, pay work comp, general liability, just insurance. It just goes through the roof, and was a very good decision of mine that helped me be able to manage better because I'm not out there barking. Do I know everything that's moving? Yes. Do I know what the expenses are? Yes. But seeing that day to day, cash in, cash out. Dre, you got to do it. I feel sorry for you, but that's one thing that's helped me stay focused on business development and relation. It's not really just looking at those numbers constantly. There'll be some other entrepreneurs who disagree with my statement.
I've heard it from both ways. It's something that I think it's also how people. I think there's people that just operate differently. There's people that operate businesses. There's a lot of successful businesses out there that operate really strictly from a financial state. And it's just they live spreadsheets, and this is what scalability looks like, and they don't veer off of them. I also see a lot of those companies that have really high turn on people. Like the business is built around a financial world where that was never what I wanted. I wanted a business that financially is going to win, but I wanted the culture of something that people saw that was just different, that stood out, that when we're buying a short bus for the office to gut it and paint it and everything, he's looking at me like, what the fuck is your problem? And
you might have said that too.
Yeah.
I think you did.
I think I had most of the office. 50% of the office was highly against it. 50% was for it. But guess what? Now the whole office loves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like I look at it, you can't put $1.00 on that. When people come into the office, the experience that people have, it's the same thing with what Walt Disney always did. Like Roy did not agree with what Walt did all the time, but Walt's only focus he had was on the experience that someone had when they came to one of his resorts. That's what he lived for. Roy's watching the finances on the side like, bro, what are you doing? Like, so it's the same thing. I've offloaded that to Dre, and I told him, I'm like, I'm just going to focus on what a person working at MMG, how they feel and operate every day, and business development, but then also the client experience. So like we just keep focusing on improving that, keep focusing on improving that, keep focusing on improving that. And it's down to the smallest things, like when you come into our office, like, and you get an MMG water, like it was just like, I wanted that. Like I wanted, when people walk in, they're greeted differently. The whole experience, when they come, they're like, I feel welcome. I want to hang out here. That's what I've always wanted. Right. To where it's, but most of running that from a spreadsheet does not make sense. That a lot of time when you're looking at that, like one of these days when we build the fancy factory and I put a jet in the side of my office and I have a cigar room and a jet that's built into the side, people are going to be like, that's wild. Doesn't make sense. He's going to be like, do we not spend that money? I'm like, yes, we are. But how cool is that going to be when I have a meeting in it? Same thing. Yeah. But I was literally sitting talking with Madison about the other night that I talk about it so much. But once again, you're talking about like sounding crazy. It's always crazy until it works. And then everyone's like, oh, I believed you. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Not at all. Not at all.
Shut up. No, you didn't.
Not at all.
So it's like, you could say those things, and I think the people that are around me enough, they're like, when I say something, they're like,
there's going to be a day he's going to have a jet.
Like that, exactly what you say. They're like, that's going to happen. Like in whatever, like hell or high water, you're going to make it happen. But it's just like you build those things, and it's like I get so laser focused on it in my head, I envision it clear as day. Like, so you just, but once again, you have to have that vision to go after. It's that roadmap. Yeah. That roadmap, I get up every day and I can see it. I think that's something that I see with a lot of people that move companies forward, and I see it with what you do day in, day out, just from everybody that works there, the buy-in, the atmosphere. I enjoy going to CP job sites. Like it was something that got taken away from me. Like I lost my job. Like this is my final content account. And I'm gonna blame Darby for this one.
Don't blame me. No, even Sid, when she was out there this week and delivered the snack wrap, she texted me. She's like, "Dude, these guys are freaking awesome." She's like, "These are sweet."
Yeah.
I was out of town. Yeah. We need to do that again when I'm in town.
Yeah.
But
they said you were at the last shoot. Was that? Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah. Then Houston, as I was coming down here, he stopped me. He goes, "Oh, by the way, content guys called and said, you're badass on camera." I know.
Yeah, Danny told me that. He was like, "Dude," he's like, "Cory's good." And I was like, "Could have told you that."
It depends on the mood. I mean, there's times Dane and I, it takes 30 shots just to get that one clip.
There's sometimes Cory and I'd be out filming for like an hour, And then we end up sitting on the tailgate of a truck drinking Mick Ultras for like 2 hours. Man, it's like, you still filming up the CP? I'm like, I'm like, a lot going on up here.
Yeah.
And then I get back, and then Darby's like, you get a lot of content? I'm like, no. Nah,
Cory sucked today.
They send me like 6 photos. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Hey, the photos you got were crispy.
They're
though.
great.
Yeah. They were good yesterday.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah. No, that's funny. When Cory and I got on a call, we were sitting and we were talking about content, going over everything. And I had to tell him, I was like, Cory, I think the problem is you and I. Like, I think we're the problem, that we have to cut ties so we can do content, that we have to let both of our teams prosper and do their thing.
And I'm like, yeah, I echo that. I'm done.
I will say it is a little easier getting a hold of Houston than you.
I just got calling for the answers.
Well, then there for a while, Darby tried to reach out to Cory. He's like, Cory doesn't text me back. And then he's like, I can't get a hold of Cory. And I'll call you like, hey, what's up?
I'm like, this guy.
Which I know you're probably right next to him. So I just do it, a little bit jab.
He's like, he goes, dude, I cannot get a hold of Cory. I was like, I'll call him real quick. But no, it's
I never open the text message. I just thinking I'll get to it the next one. Then 100 text messages later, and you're laying in bed at 10 o'clock at night. Oh shit! I'll text him tomorrow. But then you opened it, and tomorrow
and you
rolls,
forget about it.
You forget about it.
And you already got 100 more.
Yeah. Don't take any offense to
Yeah,
it, please.
I'm kind of guilty of it too. I tell people, I'm like, if you want to get a hold of me, you text me once, I don't text you back in like 3
Just
or 4
call.
hours.
Just call.
You call or text me again.
Yeah.
Like psycho text me. I don't care.
I think everybody has figured out they can't get a hold of me. They call everybody else. Well, we couldn't get a hold of Cory.
Most of the time I call Ryan afterwards, because I would call him. We would talk for like 30, 45 minutes. Nothing about the content whatsoever. Just about everything that was going on in life. And then he's like, yeah, you should probably call Ryan and get that set up. I'm like, all right, cool. So
Yeah.
I figured out if I need to set content or anything, I was just calling Ryan.
But it is going well.
Easy to get hold of, so
I mean, Houston does just sit on his ass all day.
that's what he told me.
Have the content guys been set up to the mines yet?
Not lately.
Huh?
The last one was agency, I think.
I think that was me.
That was you.
We need to send the content guys out to the mines.
They're mind blown.
Mind blown.
We're a long ways away from Kansas City.
We need to make sure we put them in something they can get around out there.
Yeah, don't send him in the van.
I sent her to the van out of my side. But
They said yesterday, I don't think we can get down there. You'll be all right. I'll pull you out.
Danny's probably like, hell yeah.
let's do it.
They did a lot of walking yesterday.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though, anytime I show up to shoot any CP stuff, I get new friend requests on Facebook, and then it's guys from all the different cabs driving around send me photos of my truck and me working out there.
That's funny.
But
Yeah, we need to get them out there.
yeah,
But they're a ways away. They're all the way up. Kind of at the Iowa line
East
right
of
now.
Maryville.
Yeah.
It's a ways away from Kansas City.
we go to party in Maryville. I go get back out on a camera.
You're out.
Dre's over here acting like he does content, bro.
He's looking at the financial side. Takes too much fuel to get up there.
Yeah. See? I'll send Dre to go retrieve it.
Oh, there's a dozer. We'll get it out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've already backed him into some other things. I was looking out the other day and back bumpers didn't. I'm like, which is? I don't know. I'm like, awesome. Something else out there just didn't. Whatever you hit.
On our sites?
What?
On our sites they're
No,
doing?
I don't know. They could be. I don't know what they're hitting.
McDonald's baller. Drive through baller. Oops.
But what would you say the hardest thing you've taken on mining side in the last almost 6 years?
Dealing with me.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
Perfect.
It's
because it's recorded. He won't say it.
I'll tell you. I really don't know. It's hard. Probably all the different people. That's one of the bigger things that I struggle with. People are soft these days, and I don't really do well with that. So Cory gets well, not Cory now, but Tim gets a lot of phone calls sometimes, and that's probably the biggest thing. Is just dealing with all the different personalities and trying to, I guess, keep it politically correct.
Adapt, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I will say managing people has been something that I used to have kind of one direction of how I led. Mm-hmm. If you didn't fit inside of it, you were gone. But I was losing good talent because of the way I led.
Yep.
And it was figuring out there's different ways to lead. And I will say, though, in today's world, just people are weak in general. Like I'm not disagreeing with that statement whatsoever. And I'm very clear with it over the whole company. Like you get what you fucking fight for. Like you come in, you show out, you're reliable, you show up on time, you fucking do what's supposed to be done. I'm not getting calls from clients, shit like that. Like you're rewarded. Like that's the person that every time they need something that I'm standing up for. If you're fucking late, leaving early, fucking excuses for everything under the sun, everything, you come to me, I promise you. And I even give people fucking heads up. Like I've had people come and like, hey, can I have a meeting with you? I go, whatever way you think this is going to go, it's not going to go well for you. And it's like, they'll look at me, they're like,
never mind.
I don't want a meeting.
But I'm like, you know that you're not doing what you're supposed to be fucking doing. I've literally had people come in my office like, I want to raise. Oh, that's the wildest fucking statement I've ever heard. They'll like just look at me and like, what do you mean? I go, I promise we could just end this right now. We'll just act like this whole thing didn't happen. Because I'm like, there's no way, shape, or form you're getting raised today. But then there's other people I'll sit down and they're like, hey, most of the time I'm giving raises before people even ask for them. Like the people that are working or showing up doing what they're supposed to be doing, pretty easy. Like we had a content guy. I told him at 90 days, I'm like, we'll sit down, review your pay. I was like, show me what you can do. And he'd been referred, and 90 days he comes in, and this dude shows up, does everything he's supposed to do, crazy consistent, crazy talented, like way exceeded everything I thought he was going to do. He sits down, he has a presentation for me. He sits down, and I had a meeting on my calendar, it's like Thursday. Sit down, I go, hey, just so you know, that raise we talked about, I already talked to you this morning, it's handled. I go, we're good to go. He like looks at me, he's like, can I still show you my presentation? I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, going through this whole thing. Yeah, I was like, he goes, I really thought it was going to be a no today. I go, why? I go, dude, you're a man of your word. Everything you've said you're going to do, you do. I can rely on you. I was like, there's value in that. And he's like, well, just everyone else I've ever worked for, when they told me they were going to do something, they don't do it. I was like, if I have the money or not, I'll still give it to you. I was like, I go, if I tell you something, I go, I'm square for it. I go, I will go find it. But
it may not clear this week, but it'll clear next week.
But it's just, it's funny how that like happens, and as you go with like different people, and it's I don't know, it's a skill that learning over time just becomes more and more valuable. That managing a lot of people definitely is tricky.
I do have to talk them off the ledge a lot.
Me or the people?
Well, everyone.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best, as a manager, it's one of the best traits you can have is understanding the character of each individual.
Have you guys ever done personality tests, like personality consulting?
I'd be afraid to do that.
I think, hey, wild enough, I was very anti. So when I first had Lauren step in to start helping with my schedule and everything, literally like the first week, I told her, I was like, Lauren, I really want you to start helping out. Like, I want you to start scheduling stuff where it like doesn't come through me. Like it just ends up on my calendar and I don't have to approve it.
I don't respond to Lauren well either. So she says.
Yep, you didn't respond to her at all. Anybody in the company you don't respond to except for me.
My name is not Dane, your job.
Yeah. So I told Lauren, I was like, I want you to start helping schedule my calendar and start covering all this stuff. She's like, yeah, no problem. Literally like 48 hours later, I had a client and he's like, hey, we have a personality consultant. He goes, I'd be more than happy to cover him coming. I go, yeah, awesome. Like whatever. Kind of blew him off. Like, I'm not doing that. And then I get on, I'm like, hey, Lauren, what's the 3 hour personality thing on my calendar for Monday morning. She goes, "Oh yeah, I have Tim coming in. He's sitting down with the whole office and everything." I'm like about to fucking explode. So I leave the office. I call Madison. She's like, "I think it'd be good for you." I was like, "I don't think so." We ended up doing it, and it was so cool. But it was everybody that I had like problems with, or like that I would argue with. Like ultimately, after we did personality, like the way that he walks through it and outlines like the way people think, and it's not just saying like, "Oh, you're an introvert, extrovert." Like it starts going into like what drives people, like the way people think. That like Ricky and I used to butt heads a lot. Ricky's very calculated in the way that he thinks about something. He needs to know how, like, if we're going to 100, he needs to know what step 1 through 100 looks like. I need to know, if I can see step number 2, I'm going for it. I don't need to know the other 98. Right. I'm like, if I just see a little bit farther that way, I'm going.
Right.
So he and I used to butt heads a lot. But after doing that, the personality consulting and everything, we started figuring out, like, how people thought. So it was actually a lot easier for me to talk with Ricky because I understood that. And it started helping a lot of like communication as a leadership group, started helping with communication because I understood why people were thinking the way that they were. Instead of before, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I'm like, why are you pushing back at this? I'm like, we got to move.
It's fucking simple.
But the way that you think something could be so simple, that the way that Cory could be thinking about it could be so vastly different. But it could just be the way that you guys are wired. That you look at a problem and you look to create solutions 2 different ways. And in your head, like, or Ryan's head or whoever's head, they could think that like, okay, hey, I have solved this problem and make it perfect before I execute it because I don't want to make Cory mad. Which
he can get glad in the same pants he got mad in. It's pretty simple.
But it's just like
it's got to be done.
Yeah. So when you look at those things, like how people look at something, which I also see on your guys' side, like when I was out there, I think last time at the agency spot, we were riding in Cory's truck and rock truck goes by and it's like just blowing off air, and they're going to park it, got a flat on the front. I was like, that can't be fucking cheap. And Cory's like, yeah, those are $8,000 tires. I'm like, that kind of blows. I was like,
literally,
yeah. I was like, I would. He was like, yeah, we had like 3 of them last week. I was like, yeah, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. That's one thing that gets me going.
Tires. Yeah. Or if you have one rock in the middle of the road and he's sitting there, inevitably every time that driver will drive right over that rock. The only rock around, 100 times before he didn't hit it, but that time they drove right over it, right in front of Cory.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
The gasket or the tire?
We were, I think we were up at the Bethany Hospital spot.
When you were bouncing around in the tractor, hitting your head?
Yeah. Good thing I had my hard hat on.
Did no good. But
He put me in the little passenger seat of the tractor. And they're running, I don't know how many guys are probably running out there circling. But you come across the road, and they've been driving this way so long, and then they're now driving across it, and they hit it, and it's just fucking launching everyone into the rooftop of their fucking machines. And he's standing there, he's like looking at it. He's like, why the fuck has somebody not fixed this?
My seat massager's going.
Yeah. So Cory's like, all right, we need to get in and fix that. So I'm like, all right, I'll go with you. We jump in. First time he hits it, shoots me in the ceiling. He's like,
that's why they were doing it.
He goes, can you believe they're driving around just hitting this shit over and over and over? I was like, that's kind of wild to me. No, but it's also like, I think just having that many different people and that many different skilled jobs and ways of thinking, it
takes all kinds. I mean, it does.
Each individual has their own character, their own way of thinking. They're wired differently. And I think that it really, I was saying it earlier, and it took me a lot of years to understand it. If you can understand how that individual operates, you're able to, as a manager, go into mentally gain control and understand. You're able to think ahead of them how they think, and it just allows you a little bit more room to be flexible. And once you, as a manager, once you understand those things, your life, I promise you, is a lot easier. It's not saying step down for what you believe that the job needs to go, but you're going to find different ways to explain it to them to where they have a better understanding how it needs to go. Because our step from A to B is going to be totally different than what their step is A to B.
Yeah.
They may be seeing, like, we're using Ricky as an example. That A to B, they may see 100 different things, and you and I are seeing the one simple task. And like, no, there ain't 100. But if you're able to maneuver through what their thought process, because you have a thought process is, because you have an understanding of it, life is that much easier.
Which I think sometimes it's almost like I think it's a great trait that I have. I'm very fortunate that I have it, that I don't stress out about all the things. I just know the action needs to be done. Yeah. The action has to happen for something else to yield from it. If we take no action, then nothing happens. To where it's just like, you can ask the whole leadership side when we sit in meetings, like, I will put my fucking foot in the sand that something is happening. Like, I'm fine with everyone's feedback on like what we're going to do, but something's fucking happening.
Right.
Like, execute something to go that way. But I get really frustrated with people that are just like idea people. Because there's a lot of people that just get hung up on ideas forever. Like, it's great to have ideas. And I get fucking feedback on YouTube. I've had people on shorts and stuff that are cut. Like, world needs fucking idea people, blah, blah, blah. Elon Musk is an idea guy, blah, blah. Like, Elon Musk is still a fucking doer, okay? Right. He has the idea and he executes on it. Dude wants to put a fucking rocket in space, he puts rocket in space. Like, you can have an idea, but you still have to execute on it. I'm talking about the people that just have ideas. They've had ideas forever. Nothing's ever came from it. Where it's like, I tell everybody in the company, like, you want to come to me with an idea? Bring me the execution of it too, and I'm pretty easy sell. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm the easiest sell of anybody. You come to me with a cool idea, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll try it.
I think that's what we see a lot of managers. I go out there, what are we doing? Oh, why are we doing it this way? I don't know. Go do it. I mean, quit thinking about it. Just freaking go do it. I think a lot of people don't. It goes to having big balls or able to make those decisions. Most people in our world just can't make decisions.
What do you think that is?
Scared.
Well, I mean, there are people a lot of scared. Yeah,
I think a lot of times people overthink it and psych themselves out of doing stuff too.
Correct. If entrepreneurs were to sit around and just, well, for one, they wouldn't be entrepreneurs, because there's a point to where if you're going to take that risk, you just have to go do it. That's plain and simple. You have to go do it. You may fail, but at least you can sit here and say, I tried. What can I do different next time to try to be successful? But I think, most generally our society is scared to take that leap because we've been trained to follow.
Everything's so public now too that I feel like everybody's embarrassed if somebody sees them fail, then everybody's going to know it. I mean, in today's day and age, I mean, everything is on camera everywhere you turn around, so they don't want to be.
So I think that's a big point. I think a lot of times people are so fearful of what other people think.
Who cares?
My thing is, like, I will say early days at MMG, I had that wall up. I tell people I don't fear things. I don't fear failing. I don't fear like those things. Early days at MMG, I wouldn't say it was fear. I just worried about what other people thought of me. I'm like, what if I do go out and I drop the ball in this whole thing? It doesn't work out. And they're like, oh yeah, like, whole marketing company thing you tried didn't really work out, did it? But then I'm sitting there, I'm like, who the fuck else is doing it? I'm like, and I think I shifted my thought process to not like building the outcomes of losing, but only building the outcomes of winning. That whatever it takes, like, it took me a couple of years to start like figuring out like, all right, I'm the guy to be in the arena. But then like once that set in, I was like, it was a whole different gear that hit. But I think it's being put up against that wall over and over and winning. And it's like, I've been put in so many hard spots that now I look back at it as like anything we go into, I'm like, what the fuck? What's the worst it's going to do? Right. Put us in a hard spot. I've been in a bunch of those. Right. So I'm like, I'm built for it. Let's ride. Like, I'm not scared of it.
Well, and with that, I've had so many people over time in our team, no, we don't need to go after that job. Why? Well, we're loaded with work. So we're going to finish that job here in X amount of time, this one X amount of time. We're going after that job. No, we probably shouldn't go after that job. I said go after the job. Usually, 9 times out of 10 is, I'm glad we went after that job. Yeah, I mean, I understand there's some calculated risk there, but if you don't take those risks, you will constantly be dormant.
Yeah.
Constant.
Yes, if you go to the restroom.
Potty break.
Yeah, feel free.
No,
Go wherever
we're
you
not
want.
pausing this podcast.
Yeah, we don't pause. Yeah. But, yeah. No, so I think when
I need
people,
a break.
oh, you're good. I'll just talk about myself over here. Darby, how you doing over there, buddy?
Doing well.
He hasn't been talking much.
Yeah. No, I definitely think, though, when you talk about making those steps after something, that I would way rather fear having way too much work and taking on something way too big, dropping the ball on it, than never swinging forward anyways. Yeah. That's like being a baseball player and saying, I'm not going up and swinging. I promise you, you are not going to hit a home run, a single, a double, a fucking triple if you never even walk up to the fucking plate. Yeah. And I remember the first huge account we went after was well into 6 figures a month. And I go out there and Dre's like, what are you doing? I go, dude, this is going to be sick if I hit this. He's like, how are we going to handle it? I was like, I don't know. I haven't closed it yet. But I'm like, after I close it, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, dude, we need to, I'm like, no, dude, let me go figure this out. I was like, if we close it, then we go from there.
Yeah.
I just need to get step 2.
Yeah.
I go, I haven't cleared step 2. Why are we looking at step 3? So then I called Dre on my way back. I'm like, hey, I got it. so then he's like, oh shit, dude.
No wrong with step 2.
But it was like, that's happened over and over and over and over. And that's how we've learned every single time. There's been so many times that I'm going to say I fib a little bit sometimes. Like I've been in rooms that they're like, you know how to, I was with Ricky and we were at a client. They're like, you guys are proficient in macro photography, right? And I was like, yeah, for sure. We walk out and I look at Ricky. I'm like, you know how to do that?
We know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
We are proficient in that, right?
And he looks at me, he goes, no, we need different lenses for that. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, so we end up, and I go drop $4,500 on 2 more lenses to go back to the office. And Ricky and I work on for 3 or 4 hours taking macro photography around the office, just of everything. And we show up the next day. Because this was when we didn't have a shit ton of accounts. And I'm like, when we close the account, we're there the next day doing content. Right. And we go get done and we edit all this stuff. We send it back over and they're like, oh, you guys are really good. I was like, yeah, we're really good. But it's every single time people are like, you guys do that? I'm like, yeah, we do that. Yeah. Yeah, totally. And then I look at all them. I'm like, yeah, we can do that, right?
Yeah, Ryan and Houston always say, hey, we don't have the equipment to do that. Why are we going after that? They make new equipment every day.
Buy more equipment.
Yeah. What's another $1 million? Yeah. Constant. We're always constant.
Yeah, always need more equipment. You need any more equipment? All the time? Yeah, I think every time I come up there, I'm like I said, I'm thinking finances here. And I go up and Cory's telling me about all the equipment he's buying. I'm like, you know what? Our $10,000, $12,000 camera setup doesn't seem that bad now.
Right.
You know, that's a tire.
That's a tire. That's just a tire.
I think the last time we were up there, he was talking about you were just buying something new.
Probably the 352.
Yeah. I think it might have been trucks.
I think you were buying some dump trucks when we were up there one of the times.
We got all them new cat trucks, 10 of them.
They're not new anymore.
Oh shit, they got 6,000 hours on them now.
Yeah, 3 years, 6,000 hours.
Probably 352. We just got it.
Probably. Yeah. And we're trying to update. If you keep updating equipment, I mean, obviously it's
keeps the operators happier too.
The operators happy. It's a good long term plan. Like say, you know what I mean. You get something that's 10,000 hours, you're gonna start looking at what. I mean, obviously we're paying attention to the depreciation schedule, but what's that thing cost you in an hour? Because if it's got, let's just say 200 man hours on the mechanical, for mechanical repairs in 1 month. And then you go to the next month, gave you another 50, and by the end of the year, you got 400 hours into this thing. This machine cost me money, so that's where you got to start understanding. And it's taken a long time to get to that point. We're just now getting established to where, because it's year 10, I mean, we're just over 10 years. Before we had to keep everything because that's how we made. We never could afford to let anything go. And now that we're starting to get a good program and understanding, what our fleet is, that one piece is costing you money every year and it's not able to give you a good return, it's time to offload and replace it.
Keep it as a spare, and you know that truck's probably not going to be able to run every day, all day long. But if you got a truck that goes down, it can sit on site and the driver can hop in it while that other one's getting fixed, and it don't cost much that way.
It's taken a lot of years to get to that point, though. To have spares. I mean, because it's production. I mean, that's how we're paid.
Yeah.
So you just can't afford downtime.
That's also something to figure out on a personal level, because there's a lot of years our mom had this pile of shit Land Rover. It was like 2000. It cost her like $1,400 a month to fix it. Like, thing would mess up every month, and she would back in service and spend all of her time. And she was like telling us, and she's like, "Well, I don't have a car payment." I was like, "No, you're just spending on something that's worth nothing. Like, just keep spending on it." And then we were telling her, like, you need to get a new car. She's like, I'm not going to have a car payment. And it's like when people are like, "Oh, you guys have those truck payments." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? If something happens to that, the peace of mind I have, they will come to my office, pick up that thing, leave another one." I was like, I keep everything in factory warranty. I don't have to worry about it. But it's like same thing, like me going and sitting at a dealership, messing around with that on a car, and then getting a $1,800 ticket here, getting a $1,500 ticket here, fixing AC here. Like, this stuff adds up.
That's a generational mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go from generation to generation. You go 40 years ago. I've heard those guys talk, and they've flat out just said, "You're freaking crazy for going out and then buying all this yellow iron. You'll never ever be able to keep it busy." Why not? Well, there's never enough work. Well, did you just focus in one particular area, or did you broaden your horizon? You're right. If I just focused in a 200 or I was going to say 200 square foot area, but if you
that's a big area,
right? If you're focused on just in 100-mile square, you're not going to be able to keep all that stuff. You have to go out and you have to get it. It's the mindset that has just changed over generation, and you're right. That's with us. I look at that every day. $1,500 repairs, or do I put that in something that's dependable, that I know that I can have a backup plan? It's just things have changed. Things have evolved. Of course, interest rates are different. Society's different. Economy's different. That allows those things to where you've been able to adapt and make those changes. But it just,
I do think generationally, I think generations now are understanding how to utilize money a lot differently as a tool. I think it used to be something that was just save money, just compound money and put as much into savings as possible.
Yeah.
That it was like having all this money sitting in savings is the way to do it. But now you have people that overnight became crypto millionaires, like on
the TikTok shop.
But it's like it's just wild that you look at that. You have influencers out there. Some of the richest people that we have walking around now are making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
They don't understand how money is being acquired. They don't understand that you can take money and you can have it go work for you all the time. Like, I know guys that are 10, 15 years older than myself that have exited companies and taken all that money and invested 100% of it. And now they walk day in and day out with, yearly salaries that are well over anybody else I know.
Yeah.
But it's the generations before us didn't look at that. They like to see a savings account with as much money as possible sitting there. That wasn't diversifying funds. It wasn't. I've had people that look at, like, when we sell equity in MMG to like scale it, that Jeff Bezos owns 13% of Amazon. You look at the biggest players on the globe, they don't own the lion's share of their companies, but they build something that if you have a $100 million company that you own 60% of, or you have $1 million company that you own 100% of.
Mm-hmm. Big difference.
Big difference. But it's like, you also, when you speak with a lot of them, there's gas you can throw on the fire, and it's capital. You figure out how to throw capital on it, that you look at from your side, equipment, manpower, all those things, getting the jobs, going and hunting, doing that. The bigger your name becomes, the easier it is to get those bigger jobs. The credibility's there. Like, it's something that just compounds over time. Then all of a sudden, before you know it, like, you're the fucking guy. Like, and it's almost like I feel like it snaps overnight that a few years ago, we're working together, and I would tell people, I'm like, CP Excavating? And they're like, no, I don't think I've heard of it. Now it's like every single blue-collar person we sit down with, like, I hold it as like a badge of, like, honor that, like, we've got to roll that whole experience together.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of cool, though. You can see that there's been a lot of people that have tried to, from that first video that we shot, like in the quarry and everything, it's like there's been multiple people that have tried to do it with their social media and stuff.
The
smaller, yeah.
Well, we've talked about that.
Yeah,
I think that we, as a collaboration, have started something in the blue collar industry. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You didn't see it. We took a risk, and it has, I mean, it's just boomed. I think it's not only helped you guys on your marketing, I think it's helped us, for sure. Because you've seen our website. I mean, it was built to, I'm not knocking, not knocking the website. I mean, but we're out there trying to move, 500,000 yards of dirt. Well, our website has a skid steer. You're not moving 500,000 yards with a skid steer. But when you guys took over our account, you launched us forward. And then I also think that helped you guys. It was dividends on both.
That's
parts.
where just when we first sat down, I told you, like, this. It was us stepping into a realm that we hadn't been in yet.
Right.
And I told you I was 200% sure I could execute. That was kind of one of those, like, fibbing things that I did.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I got this. I was like,
I
got
knew you
this.
were full of
Yeah,
shit.
I was like, definitely got it. I was like, I think I just pulled up in a truck, and he's like, I'm gonna give this guy a shot at it. But it was one of those things that I told you at that time, like, if I could own this space, because at that time we did majority all car dealers. Right. And I was just sick and tired of that space. Like, I was sick and tired of the roller coaster that you ride all the time with. And it's like, I have a lot of friends that are in the car world, and they understand. They live in a 30-day window. They don't live outside of it. And when we spoke, you were talking about the year, 2 year, 3 year. The time window was so different. And it was like, I told you, I was like, I want to own this type of space. But it's also the blue collar side of business that we have acquired. It's people that I like. It's people that I can sit and I can have drinks with. I can speak my mind. They're not going to be offended by something I say. Right. And it's like,
you gotta be careful. Cory gets that way.
But it's like, my thing too is like, I have blue collar guys that sometimes we don't agree on everything. That's perfectly fucking fine. They're not going to get all bent out of shape about it, whatever. Like, it's just like, you can actually just have level-headed conversations. And I've just thoroughly enjoyed scaling the blue-collar side of what we do. Like, just personally. And we have a bunch of other stuff, and it all works. And, like, the marketing side of what we do can duplicate over a lot of different industries. Yeah. My personal, just something that, like, I've had a lot of personal, like, reward with has been the blue collar space. Yeah. And CP was kind of that, like, that's why it took me so long to let someone else shoot content for it, because, like, I like babied that one account. Right. That's still the way that guys edit this stuff. Like, the first time Jared went out and shot photos, he comes back, he goes, hey, can I edit these how I want? I'm like, fuck no, you can't. And he goes, no, dude, like, I got an idea. I'm like, I don't give a shit what your idea is. I was like, edit them. I'm like, I sent you all my presets I built out so I could send them to you. I go, that's how I edit all of their stuff. I go, I still want it to look the same. He's like, okay, yes, sir.
They were asking about him yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Got the presets.
Yeah, but it's like, I built out a preset that it was like a dark, grungy, way higher orange. Like, most content guys don't do that kind of, like, content. But I'm like, I know the space. And I'm like, that stuff hits way better.
What's interesting is, where I think he's more alluding to is from the marketing standpoint, I think CPMMG, even though we're the actual contractor, you're our marketing agent, like I said, agent.
Ooh, fancy.
We are the foundation. Together we're a foundation in the blue collar industry. Because you get on social media today, people are, and I'm happy for them. I want people to be prosperous. I don't care about competition because we're going to do better. But I think it's freaking badass that we see people doing what we were doing 3 years ago. When we took this space on and hey, we leaped, and here we are. You see the next contractor that they have. It may not be with MMG, but they've reached out. They're doing what we were doing 3 years ago, and I think we are the foundation that started that. And I think that's what you're alluding to. It's crazy the videos you see from other marketing firms. They're not doing as good as we are, but I do enjoy seeing that.
And sometimes there's some of these people with what they'll try to do is they'll execute one video that's just off the chart. They'll have one crazy high-end video, but then everything else is trash. To where it's like they spend so heavily on like one video and they think one video is going to change the outcome of everything. Yeah. I'm like, hit content and hit all of it at like 90%. Like, just get an A on all of it. Yeah. But be wildly consistent and out-volume everyone else. Like, that's how you win. Like, we do have videos once in a while that are just like crazy over the top. Mm-hmm. There's a time for that. But not every single piece of content has to be that. Like, I really wish our first podcast, when we podcast in the River Market, we had that reel that did like 5.5 million views on Facebook. I wish we were geared up to where we were at now, because I had like 50 construction companies all over the country call me in like the 3 days after that. And they're like, hey, can you do our marketing? We've been looking at CPU stuff online. We want to do something like this. I was like, I don't do anything outside Kansas City. I'm like, there's like 9 of us this time. I'm like, we just moved out of my basement. I'm like, I can't afford a plane ticket to come see you. Right. But it was like, I look at now, if something like that happened, we'd be geared up to take on 50 excavating companies around the country. Mm-hmm. Like, we had 2 companies out of Canada call. Like, it was just cool to see that there are other people in the country that are paying attention. There are people out there that are watching that want to do something different. But it's like, I'm also the person, I always like competition because it pushes you to do something better and push you into a space that you have to think outside the box again. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing I hate more than comfort. Like, I don't like being comfortable. My wife, she goes, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. She goes, you just always like pushing the envelope so much. Yeah. But I'm like, the second you take your foot off the gas, someone else is going to come try to take it. I want to, like, there are so many things that we're building MMG-wise as we scale. Like, next 12 to 18 months, we'll be our own private equity firm for companies. Like, we'll be able to back companies that we're working with from a financial state. We'll be able to buy their commercial real estate. We'll be their real estate holder. We'll have all these different entities of MMG. And it's going to be a marketing company. When they look at us, I want them to be like, there's no fucking way that I could ever compete with those guys. Right. But it's like, we've talked about a lot of things for CP in the future. I'm like, I'm not even going to drop them. But it's like, when those things happen, other companies are going to look like, yeah, they just got to step 1. They're trying to get to step 2, and they're going to be like, CP's on step 75. How the fuck do I catch up to them?
Not going to.
But it's just that, like, that evolution. And I think that's just a competitor's spirit. That, I don't know. There's people out there that just, like, try to, like, kind of win. Like, I want it to be just such a slaughterhouse of winning that, like, everyone notices it. Like, you can't mistake it.
Yeah.
Question for you, though. What do you think about the AI in your field here? Do you think it's going to help you or hurt you?
So it's helped us a ton. Like, it's something that if we had taken on the amount of accounts we had taken on this year and we didn't have AI, we'd have 3 times the amount of people right now. Like, right now we have, if you look back at like last year, it was like every other post was like hiring people. And then people are like, I don't see all those like hiring posts. I'm like, yeah, we really haven't been hiring as many people. But we have multiple people that like they're working every week on figuring out using AI, because the output of AI is only as good as the input that you give it. And there's people that are like, AI doesn't work very well. I'm like, when you get on there and you're like, generate me a photo of Darby in an airplane, and then it like kicks out some random photo that like looks like shit, and you're like, yeah, that's not very good. Like, you have to understand what your input needs to be to yield the output that you want.
For example, I just generated this using AI.
Dude, look how cool that looks.
Dude.
2 random images of you.
That looks pretty sick.
That's badass.
There's 2 variations I can use right now.
Yeah. But
you're wondering something about AI, that's probably literally every one of us that go to computers.
yeah.
So So I want you to do something because my brother Ryan did this the other day to a salesman. It was so I was in this group chat. Which I don't think Kevin will ever listen, but so he took a picture of Kevin's office. So then AI gave this whole descriptive about this salesman, how well you put the coat on the chair to make it look like you're actually going to be back from lunch, blah blah blah. So here's a challenge. I want you to take a picture of us or take AI and see what this says about this table right here. That'd be interesting to see.
The crazy thing too is yesterday I just got the new Oakley Meta glasses.
Yeah.
So I don't like the color. They're like the limited edition, the white. And
you're going to say you're an alcoholic. That's going to tell you.
4 alcoholics.
But I got these Meta glasses yesterday, okay? And I know Ray-Ban's been running with them. Oakley put like higher-end cameras in it, like the speakers in them, and I'm like, they're like $500. I'll get them. Like, I just want to know what like new up-and-coming tech is doing. I get these things, and it took me no shit, like less than 45 seconds to set them up. I put them on. The speakers in them, wildly impressive. And then you can look at something and you say, Meta, what am I looking at? I'm like standing in my kitchen, and it's like, it literally is describing everything in my kitchen. I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, I don't know what I really need this for. But like, my eyes work. But like, the video that comes out of it is absolutely.
Did you use it this morning for your story?
So this is like walking out this morning with them on.
That's pretty crisp.
Pretty still, too.
Yeah. They have like stabilization in them, everything. And I'm like,
shit, I'd be shaking.
But it's just like how far, like what AI is doing. AI is not going to take people's jobs.
Not ours, anyways.
What I look at is AI will not take people's jobs. You are going to lose your job to someone using AI.
Yeah.
So AI is not taking jobs. It's somebody that's using AI is going to take your job. To where that's what we look at as it's a tool that we're all given. That's like if we went out to a mine site and you can buy an excavator. I show up with a fucking shovel. And I'm going to be like, dude, I don't believe in excavators. I use a shovel. I'm never getting a fucking job. You'd be like, you're a fucking buffoon, bud.
Yeah.
Like, so now we're given this like super tool over here that we can now hire this person that can ace every single college test ever put out there. I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't trust that guy. I'm not going to use him.
Like, and they can do it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's just it. I always use Houston as my AI. Hey, take my language and put this in an email. Make sure it's professional. All I got to do is use AI now, and I don't have to bother Houston.
Dude,
I've tried it a couple.
The wild. Yeah, you ought to start. Just yell for me. You ought to have like videos that like, dude, I have my own AI, and you have like spoofs out like, Houston, what's the weather outside? He just yells from his office of all the questions that you have. You're like, my AI is kind of slow, but yeah. But it's also, I mean, what you can do with it, just from a plug-in standpoint, like you can plug it into Gmail, you can plug it in everywhere. For when when you talk about writing your emails, like I can go through my emails. What used to be 3-4 hour task, I sat there, went through emails and like composed an email. I can just click. I have a little green button at the bottom of each one. I just click it and it auto generates it. I like read through. I'm like, yeah, take that out. That doesn't really match up. I just like put my sauce on it real quick. Send. Open up the next one. Click the green button. Generates it.
Yep.
Go through.
Yeah.
Send. Like you can build the plugins everywhere. And if you start using AI, also asking it what it needs to better serve you, just as a business owner, if you want to figure out how to make your product and service better, what do? You ask the people that you work with, what can I do to better serve you? Ask AI what it needs to better serve you to give you the output that you're looking for. Yeah. It tells you what you need to feed it. And that's like, most people go in and their shit's just so generic. And it's like, so a lot of the stuff I do is I just, when I'm in the vehicle, like when I'm in my car, I use notes and I'll just voice text in my phone any thoughts I have. And then I plug it in ChatGPT and it'll like compress it into whatever I need and put it into bullet points and everything. And then I can shoot it over to leadership side, I can shoot it over to marketing, wherever. But I use it more of like a compression tool to outline the thoughts I already had. and then amplifying and breaking down for everyone to
You can do it way
understand.
faster than you can do it too.
Yeah, if I did, well, one, if you didn't have like voice to text and everything, it'd be wild. I would literally have to sit there and write this shit down. It would spend half my day to get a task that now takes me my drive into work, like part of it.
Right.
And I can put a video up on my drive into work. Like the amount of things I can accomplish from here to the office, driving in the morning, pretty wild.
Do you have a subscription?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
So I pay like, I think $200 a month on ChatGPT.
Is it worth it?
Well, that's my personal one. I pay for all around the office.
That is a lie again.
Yeah.
I think they have like a pretty basic one. It's like $20.
Yeah.
$30. And I mean, it does quite a bit. I've been looking at it and fucking with it a little bit, and it's kind of crazy what really it'll do.
Does it tell you how to do your job?
Nope.
All right. AI sucks.
you tend to do that.
That's about Otter AI too.
Oh, yeah. So Otter AI is, I think every business owner out there should be using it. So this is solid enough. It's made my bottom 4 on my phone to where, say we click on this and you just click this and it starts recording. And say we record the whole entire podcast. Or say you sit down with Houston, you're going to have a meeting. You click that, you guys record the whole thing. You get done, you click done. It's going to take away all actionable steps out of that conversation that need to happen after that. Breaks it down into bullet points. So we do it now with all of our onboardings, all of our sales calls, everything like that. Where when we get done, we know that everything that the Dalton and Logan are supposed to do after onboarding, we know everything the account manager is supposed to do. It'll break it down per person, what needs to be done. And it'll say, now you have all these things done, builds a checklist out for everyone to execute instead of, and then later also if a client's like, hey, you guys said you're going to do X, Y, and Z. We have a lot of hands in what we're doing. It used to be kind of like, well, we may have said that, like, do it. Now you can sit there and you can look back and you're like, no, these are the exact actionable steps that we put in place. And this was the conversation. We have it recorded. You can, I can send it over to you. You can listen to it again. Like it takes the accountability level to a whole nother scope.
Right.
Like we record every single marketing meeting, every single content meeting, every single meeting with clients, everything now. And then when you can take those, you can upload those into ChatGPT, then also to start leveraging, helping build out better strategies. That we still build out the majority of strategy, but then you can put that in there to how do you further this strategy based on this information from this hour-long conversation.
Make sure you send that to me.
Yeah.
Otter, that is.
We were on a call earlier this week, Dalton, Logan, and I, and every single one of us had the Otter AI pop up on the Zoom, and the client was like, "What's up with all this AI? You guys actually use this stuff?" We're like, "Yeah, we do." It's not for fun,
Right. Right.
But it's like it's elevated the game from an operations standpoint. It's made our operations side 1,000 times better. The deliverables that we can give to clients now, like we don't miss a beat. Like when you let human error run so much of your company that anytime you're on a call or like Houston's on a call with any client or anything, he can literally the second that call comes in, just click on this. He can have it on his computer. He can have it on his phone, wherever it clicks it. Every single one of those calls is going to be recorded. And then you could have an email that drops out to everyone after that call is done, that these are all actionable steps that Houston just had with company X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I really need to start.
Mind blown.
But like, it's also like a part of the, we've thought about actually doing like AI consulting too with people. Like right now, a lot of these companies are just hiring manpower, that there's a lot of things that you can streamline and make someone way more efficient in your company using AI and using tools that are out there, that instead of hiring someone else that's going to be a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year person, you could take the person that you have, give them a $12,000 a year raise, make them a lot better employee, and then also put $200 a month at something that gives them all this access to then end up leveraging over what this person is that you would hire anyways. So that's where we've like been tossing around the idea of there's so many clients that we're helping on the AI forefront of what they can plug in, what they can do to leverage. So I'm like, I think there's a consulting move.
I think there's so many people afraid, in our society, the states, that it's going to take over jobs. I mean, there's a point to where it may take over certain aspects of your job, but everybody's afraid to use it as a tool.
They are.
And we're getting a lot of kickback on AI. And I've used it a little bit. I don't have no subscription or anything like that. I've used it just a little. Like, it's pretty freaking awesome.
So my wife has been very anti-AI for like a while. We started using ChatGPT when we were in my basement.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the first time it like came out, this is when ChatGPT was free and when you would all get on.
That's weird because I just heard about it a year ago.
Dude, so it came out when we were 2021.
Tells you how far I
I think it was October 2021 we started using it. But I remember the first time it came out, I was like, generate 10 ad copies for ads based on this location, put it in the website and everything, and it generated shit that was like close. I'm like, we still had to fix it at that point, but we had like an outline to go off of, which was like crazy. But that was a time like when you would go on, it was overloaded to where you couldn't like generate all the time. So we had all of our computers, like our desktops, and we all had laptops down there with it open. We're all like putting in prompts and we're all trying to generate like 2 computers at a time. And all of a sudden you'd be like, Logan's like, I'm in. And he's like generating. And it's like, but then all of a sudden now, like, I mean, everyone can use it as much as they want.
Yeah.
But
and that can't, unless we get more data centers and servers up online, we're going to overload the system again.
I don't know, dude. The amount of money they're putting into it right now.
Well, I know.
It's
now they just got billions of dollars.
It's holding now. But in the front side.
But when people start using AI more because they're going to see the advantages like you, I think it'll overload it. But that's why.
See, that's where we see the future problem. Now we got to get into servers. We need to be in the server space.
We'll do the dirt work.
Servers.
We got the ground.
Yep.
I know a guy that do the dirt work.
See, now we're onto something.
I think so.
Because that's where it's all going. Like my thing too is that there's people that look at it. We're not changing it.
No,
we're not stopping AI.
No,
we get like it when the internet come out. Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody compares it to. If you don't get on with it, you're going to be behind.
Think about all the people that thought the internet was a fad.
Right.
Like, there's a story of a watermelon farmer that when it came out, he leveraged his farm, he leveraged everything, opened up a dictionary and just started buying every one-word domain. Dude's like multi-millionaire now. But he owns like all the one-word domains. He doesn't sell them. He just leases them to people.
Smart man.
Everyone thought the dude was a fucking loon when he did it.
It's typical.
But it was just like, you look at what AI's doing now. Like because of stories like that, I get online, I buy domains. Like I own a lot of domains. Weird deal to do. But I own some pretty big domains and I know some big players in the country. Like if you want a CNN podcast, I own that. CNN podcasts, I also own that. But like Fox got big enough on doing their podcast that it holds too much space on their website where they offload it to a secondary domain. To where I saw that was happening and I'm like, all these other news stations are going to go to that at some point that they're going to need to hold because holding all those podcasts will just bog down a website.
Right. So
I'm like, they're going to offload them to secondary domains. So I got on one night and I've bought all of them. Like every news station that has their name in podcast or podcast, I own them all. Like one of these days they're gonna need them and they're gonna go searching them like your boy owns.
Who the fuck's this Dane guy?
Yeah. But it's like anytime I think about things, like there's local companies around. Like if they ever want their website, I own it. So it's just like I get in bed at night. I'll search domains and you buy domains for $20-$30. I'll buy $300 in domains in an evening and
sleep good.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than go lose at a casino. So if we do spend a lot of money on websites, just domains.
Well, I'm about ready to go spend money on AI. So
hey, I'm telling you, if I think that we got something with the AI consulting deal, because I think we could walk into every single company that reached out to us. And if we went in at $15,000 low side for a day, we could optimize whatever staffing they have, we could optimize and give them another 2 or 3 employees that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could do it before lunch. Like, we wouldn't need a whole day.
Right.
We could go through and sit down with the top 10 people that you have, and we'll show you how to free up 20% of their schedule every day.
Say the stuff we figured out in 2.5 hours earlier was wild.
Yeah. Like, we were adjusting things, and they were talking about, like, account managers and everything. I literally looked at Logan and Alex, like, 2 weeks ago, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, interview for that person, but I'm like, we're not replacing this position. I go get on. I was like, figure this out. And we actually now have AI agents that work against themselves all the time that self-feed. You have generative AI, which is stuff that you always have to feed it the input. Then you can build AI agents that actually, they pull all of their own information and it runs itself. So
you're talking fucking Spanish now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm really good at hiring people that are smarter than me.
He's a,
They're not taking your job. Yeah.
So they can't drive yet.
he's a dirt guy. You gotta simplify it.
Dumb it down here. Get the crayons out.
You send me some.
So what did AI end up saying about us?
You're an
He has that
alcoholic.
too, but he also has a video.
On the site now, it's pretty empty out here.
His voice is a little off.
Have you seen the
If we get his voice right, that'd be
Bigfoot
pretty.
videos?
Yeah.
Them are funnier than shit.
With Downsy out doing coke in the woods. It's a good thing you're not on TikTok.
I need TikTok shop somebody.
Yeah. So my story I was going to tell you before that I had to wait till we were on the podcast. So I buy like really nice button-up shirts. Madison has like my initials put on them all and everything. I wear them all the time. Nobody says shit about them, okay? No compliments on my nice shirts. I mean, I don't know if you buy nicer button-up shirts. But I get these $4 TikTok shop shirts, these like rope shirts, and every time I wear them, I get so many compliments. If I put one on and wear it out, I walk into Quick Trip, somebody's like, "Hey, where'd you get that shirt, man?" I was like,
TikTok shop.
I don't tell people. I'm like,
I didn't know it existed. Which I don't have TikTok, so
yeah, it's
it's the stuff's almost so cheap that you're like, surely this isn't real, and then it shows up, and you're like, oh, it's actually pretty.
It shows up pretty quick too.
yeah. And it's pretty solid stuff.
Some poor little Chinese dude made it, but it works.
The Chinese, like they just figured out how to go direct to consumer with TikTok.
And then people are getting money. Like, they post a video, like, some dude had an air freshener that he was putting in his truck. So he made like $50,000
So
by selling this within the last 6 months.
So if you have these, they actually have them out in LA. I've thought about trying to figure out how to do them here. So they have these places that you go, you walk in, and there's
He's
like
downloading TikTok.
there's like 8 studios. So they'll have like 4 on 4, and each studio will have like 100 to 150 phones all set up in it. They're all recording live on TikTok. To where it's somebody in there just going over product, and they literally have piles of fucking product that they just like hand them, and they start like reviewing it, and they put the link, and then they'll have like 150 to 200 phones like per. I don't know the exact amount of phones, but there's a fucking shit ton. They're all plugged in on cords and everything. But I was like, no one's done it around here. I was like, the money that's being made on there is wild. Square footage wise, I think the cost would be in all the phones and the power that you're running to keep all that stuff going all day. But you literally just take an influencer who sits there, and it's like, oh yeah, man, this glass and it has like the bullet in the side of it and everything. You can buy 4 of these right now for $3.99, and they talk about it, and then
which is a badass glass, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. TikTok shop, you can get them all day, every day.
Dude, my wife, she just got a mini dachshund. She created a TikTok account for it. I shit you not. A company sends vitamins, dog vitamins, to us. We take a video of the vitamins with the dog, $100 a video. Just send it back to him. A fucking dog. It's an 8-pound dog.
Dude, my wife on Like to Know It, my wife, when we get ready and we go out, she takes a picture in front of a mirror in our bedroom and then links all the shit that she's wearing. She makes more than most people make in a month just posting Instagram stories on that stuff.
I'm going all wrong about this.
We go out to dinner.
Yeah, we're stupid.
She'll post a photo. We'll be at dinner. Halfway through dinner, she's like, I've sold 18 of those dresses so far since we've been at dinner. and she's getting cut off of all of it.
Yeah, one of them was that hair wand deal that all these girls are using.
Did you get one for your beard?
No, not yet. Not yet.
He comes one day, it's
burn it
all
off.
curled up. He's like, I gotta try that. It's a BOGO deal.
Let's hear what AI had to say since we're on this AI stuff. Don't scare me.
All right, let's see. Far left guy, white. That's going after me first.
Hey, just say it all.
He's reading it
I'm on
first.
my-
He's like, I don't want to
It
say
says
all that.
it says he's very confident and direct. It sounds like he likes dad jokes. Dude, there's a lot of fucking text here. I'm not just. Second guy, it says it looks like you're probably a 49ers fan.
That's crazy.
San Francisco guy.
Yeah.
That's an
Which
insult.
from a distance, you could definitely probably get that. Outgoing and charismatic, entertainer, loyal friend, laughs at his own jokes.
I don't have much jokes, so
Said third guy from left, gray shirt, big beard, glasses, laid back and thoughtful, insightful observator,
I think it's missing on that one.
beard stroking when in deep thought.
Very true.
Far right guy. Ooh,
Handsome fella.
cool, chill vibe.
skip.
Say them all. Say them
The
all.
gold chain hints he might have a little bit of swagger. Possibly jokes about being stylish. Yeah, yours weren't quite as good. That was a lot of text to be thrown at me on the middle of the podcast, buddy.
I think it's great though. I mean, they're spot on with you, right?
Yeah, right on. Cory's now a 49ers fan.
I guess.
You probably don't even know who that is.
But no, I think it's kind of cool. Just like I enjoy the things that evolve our space. I enjoy the things that evolve the world as a whole. Once again, I think I look at it as like competition too, from an outside force that's going to make you better.
Oh,
That I think the craziest thing that's going to happen, that I actually like want to see it happen. I don't know if the people will accept the challenge. I think we have a lot of very low level skilled people in our world that don't try to increase their skill level in what they do, and they just hover at the bottom. And when Tesla comes out with those robots, how far those have come in just the last 12 months, like that's going to take fast food jobs. It is going to take like a lot of that entry level position work. Like that is going to change really quick. Like, and I think people need to focus on just in life, leveling up, increasing your skill set as you go. Like you always increase your skill set of what you do, there will always be a position for you. If you hover at the bottom, you're gonna have a robot take your job in the next like 24 months.
We're definitely going in that direction.
Basically, you just can't get comfortable. I mean,
Dude, think about it
sounds
though.
like, I mean,
You have people right now though that bitch about $12 or $15 an hour. They have no skills in the world. They don't show up. They call in sick all the time. They're fucking more of a headache than anything else. They just need a body that stands there, and all these different areas.
talk to some of our guys because you're describing.
But it's like you watch that, and then all of a sudden this robot's going to show up that you could buy for $30,000. That's going to be like, okay, I have to put up 1 year's fucking pay of this person that stands there, never leaves position, never calls in sick,
Never gets tired.
never gets tired.
Always happy.
Yep.
Greets you with a smile. I mean,
Darby sounds like he's going to own one for his office already. Darby's like, I pre-ordered mine already. You go to Darby's office, like, you talk to my robot. It's Tim. You talk to him first. But But you just look at it as like, I don't think we're far away from that being reality.
Oh, within 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount or less, the amount of money that's being dumped into that type of resource or infrastructure, however you want to look at it.
I think
it's here.
Yeah. I'm going to say there's 50% of AI on market that is crazy useful. I was reading a deal the other day, like I think it was like 25 of the fastest moving companies in the world right now are all AI companies. They've all exceeded 50 million a year in revenue, and most of them don't have over 5 employees.
Wow.
I was like looking at those numbers, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I was looking at one after another, and it's most of the time it's just a few developers.
I think I'm gonna have robots start operating. That'd be great.
He's like, I'm in.
Sign me up.
Can we get up?
Are you smart enough to control them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ain't trained me.
Yeah, here pretty soon it's gonna be like fucking iRobot. I'll pull up in a semi and they'll just climb out the side.
But like Darby said, they're always gonna be there. They're gonna be smiling.
Only gonna get smarter.
Only gonna get smarter.
They probably wouldn't.
Dude, think about putting a Harvard graduate driving around your rock trucks.
It might get interesting.
Yeah.
I might be down.
Now you got a Harvard graduate that can operate, that can drive the truck.
All the things. We're entering a wild space right now. I think once again I seek opportunity. Keep your eyes open to it.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of all of us.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna jump on it and elevate, and then some people are gonna
Fall behind.
Yeah, it's going to create more millionaires than we've ever seen in the next 12 to 24 months.
Definitely a lot of opportunity with it.
There's a big boom coming.
In our space, our particular space, we're going to have to...
Show the class.
What's our audience doing?
Dude, you say that to me. I'm like... Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, he texted that to me. I'm like, I'm not showing anybody that.
Xavier, we're going to see these images flash.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. I think we have more opportunity in front of us than ever before.
Oh yeah, we got a good thing happening on Saturday, don't we? Check your calendar. You already forgot. I had to get reminded as well.
I don't have anything on my calendar. This Saturday?
Put it on.
Yeah, did you not invite me?
It wasn't me that had to invite you. We got Sequoia.
Oh, yeah. That is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody remembers. Hope he's watching. You gonna be there?
Probably. I don't know if I'll be there the whole time. I probably will be after. Yeah. You want to help sell the wives on it?
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah. Cory said, client outing.
It's a write-off.
Yeah. Cory's Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, and it is.
It is. It is. Yeah.
That we know of their
Yeah.
I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I'm too.
It's been good.
His content's pretty sick. His stuff he's been dropping pretty legit.
Yeah.
Every time. Dude, these dudes just over here making AI fucking photos of us on the podcast.
Yeah.
Who the fuck invited him?
He's over there giggling.
Yeah. Fucking Giggles McGee over there.
Instead of clapping, they're giggling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. There's all over on their computers generate AI photos of us.
So you're gonna have to start incorporating that into your podcast, in the background. And when it shows a video, it pulls up, shows you that latest picture.
So what I've thought about, this could be wild. I've thought about putting a chair over there that someone we put one more mic in, they sit over there and they run the screen, They have like a computer up on the screen. So anytime that we need like questions or anything, we're talking about stuff, we can just pull it up on the TV.
Yeah. I've always wondered on podcasts going live, to where you can get questions back from an audience. I don't know if it did you?
So we just got really drunk.
We don't need to show up.
Yeah. We did get one client off of it though. Yeah, so after the podcast, we do it because we're always on Wednesday. We're like, hey, before I did those like legitimate like Whiskey Wednesdays, we would just go live on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And then we'd sit here and we'd drink whiskey with like all of these phones set up live on the MMG page. And we got kind of fucking smoked on. We just run forever how long. And one dude's like, dude, this is awesome. He's like, I want to sign up with you guys. He's like, I'm like, dude, we just get a client off this. Still with us today.
How did I not get involved on that one?
I don't know. That was I had to ditch the Whiskey Wednesdays because I like it way more than Taco Tuesdays. Like,
Looks like it.
yeah. The problem is this is like doesn't have to be recorded and like to put out. Whiskey Wednesdays, we would like roll up to a Wednesday and we didn't have it done. And if I had like a full day, it's like 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm sitting in my office drinking bourbon. And I'm like, I got a fucking problem. And then I brought a toothbrush to the office. I can go brush my teeth. And I'm like cloning myself up. I'm like, I don't want people walking and be like, this guy smells like booze already. I'm like, so I ended up ditching the Whiskey Wednesdays because of that. I didn't really like having to drink every Wednesday.
Yeah. That would be a lot.
I think Wing Wednesday would hit way better.
Yeah.
You need to do the barbecue. You got to get into the barbecue scene in Kansas City.
There's just not that many of them.
I know.
Because I thought about
Go
that.
to slaps and it'd be over.
Well, I'm like, I would go hit like, I would do it for what, probably 15, 20 weeks, and we'd probably be at the end of it.
Yeah.
Short series.
The reason we went taco route was like, we can have, I mean, I still haven't covered tacos. We've been doing it 100+ weeks. Like I haven't covered the Olathe area, and you start getting down there, there's a ton of taco joints all over the place.
Crazy.
You go hit your blue collar work sites and they can go show you the stuff that you ain't ever seen.
Yeah, there's
the minivan pulls up with the igloo in the back.
Good tacos.
I've had some, when I walk into a place, I'm the only white guy in there, and I'm the only one that speaks English. I know it. I'm going to get some good tacos.
Start pointing
But-
to the menu.
Yeah. I definitely get dogged on pretty hard on the taco reviews sometimes, though. I got 50% of the Hispanic community loves me. Because, like, we'll go and, like, some taco reviews, like, when they go viral, like, next day you drive by them and there'll be a line out the door for lunch. Jam-packed, wall-to-wall, like, all these people are showing up. 50% of the Hispanic community is, like, so thankful that you're, like, helping out, bringing awareness, like, blah, 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 like, helping out small businesses. And then you have, like, 50% of Hispanic communities, like, this fucking gringo out here doesn't know shit about tacos. Can't pronounce the place. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm from fucking Kearney, Missouri. I'm not lying about that. I'm not. Yeah,
you backed up the line at their favorite taco joint.
I just like I like eating. If you can't tell, like I didn't end up 270 pounds by accident. Like I'm gonna go eat some tacos. I'm gonna give you an honest review on them. You're welcome. But
That is crazy. So how many consecutive tacos?
I think we're probably like 110 to 120 weeks straight.
Dedication.
This is dropped for over.
That is a lot of tacos.
This has dropped the podcast has dropped every Monday for over 175 weeks now. I tell people if they want to beat me at something, I'll challenge them to consistency.
So what's your average review? Or not review, but views
On
your podcast? Just
weekly, like downloads, everything. We range from 1,500 to 2,500 hours of listen time each week. Yeah, Manscaped reached out. They wanted to sponsor the whole thing. And I was like, dude, bet. Like, yeah, it's $10,000 a month. Like, send me over, like, everything. I'm talking with, like, their head of marketing for the United States. And I was like, dude, we made it. And then, they're like, you have 25,000 hours of listen time a week, right? I'm like, what?
No.
I was like, what if we remove a zero? I'm like,
No, all of them. Dre.
all of them. Can you give me all of them?
All of them.
This is all of them.
Because when they reached out, they're like, your guys is like quality level of what you run. They're like, because I mean, we run the highest in mics, highest in cameras, everything. Like,
Right.
And the crazy thing is we've never funded $1 for this. Like I've turned away a lot of like lower end sponsors just because I'm like, when we swing, I'm like, I want to hit something big on it. But I've always like kind of prided ourselves that like we've done this all self-funded on the podcast side. And, but it's when I was talking to the marketing girl, she's like, people don't run podcasts this long, this quality, everything like this. She goes, you're 1 or 2 away from hitting, and she goes, you'll have a huge, huge podcast. So
This could be it. It's the AI.
maybe it's the AI that does
Could
it.
be.
Hey, did you see there was a thing that over in Japan, China or somewhere over there, I was reading a thing that they just paved a whole entire road with all AI machines.
So that's what's running in my brain as we're going through all this whole AI stuff.
Yeah.
2 or would have been probably 7 years ago. I invested in all the GPS for our equipment. I wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing. But it's all there's similarities. AI can go in. We're already in that world in the first place when GPS can do whatever it wants to. But AI, if they can go in and take a set of plans and we tell them, hey, do the takeoff, or I don't want to give my thought process away, but you see where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the equipment side of it. I think there's a lot of advantages there.
I think there's a lot of markers that people in different industries are going to figure out.
Yeah.
But it takes somebody in the industry to identify the problem. Where if I came in, I'm an AI guy, and I step into the excavating world, I'd be a fish out of water. So the industries that are going to be the latest to the game are the industries that no one's focusing on. To where I look at it as like the industries that have the most opportunity are the industries that no one's looking at. That it's like, how do you look at it in a different way? That, I mean, so many marketing companies are so prideful that they pay a journalist fucking $80-something thousand a year. Like, you want to talk about the most pointless job or pointless degree you could have from a college right now is a journalism degree. AI literally, like, the day it came out, took your job. Like, A to Z, bud.
Right.
Like, you went paid for 4 years of that.
I'm gonna start having AI review all my contracts.
So that's what we have AI that, like, you can run through.
Because I'm paying. Every contract that goes, I guarantee I'm paying a minimum of $500, if not $1,500, $2,000, depending on the extent of it.
So you know what we use it for a lot is when people send us contracts, they're stuck with other marketing companies. You can plug it into AI and say, find the voids in this contract to get you out. Be like, bam, 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 bam. And
No
then
more attorney.
I call.
We definitely still have an attorney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely like AI still has a little way to go on the whole law side, but it's funny where I can sit there and I can plug those things in, and I'll call the client back. I'm like, hey, yeah, they breached contract X, Y, and Z. They didn't outline this and this, and I'm like, they ended up not executing this, and this. I was like, call them and tell them you want a termination of contract, or you'll have your attorneys reach out to them. I hate people out marketing contracts over and over and over.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And then they call it, they're like, you guys really know what the fuck you're doing. I was like, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
called
we do.
AI.
Yeah. You know how to use ChatGPT? Which, like, before we even used that, like, I could look over a contract pretty quickly. Like, contract stage, you're going to do these things. Marketing companies are notorious for not doing those things. Like, if we had a contract with you and it was like set, like, content this time. Like, how many times Cory and I dropped the ball on doing content? It'd been like
90%.
that contract probably wouldn't have held up where the fuck. So you look at that like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But no, it's you can use it for anything you think of.
You have my brain spinning on that one.
Everything we build out, then we dump it in there, and I use it as like almost. I'm not going to say like a mentor, but I use it as like a person to bounce ideas off of.
Right.
Like
I'm gonna walk in tomorrow morning and tell Houston and Ian, all right, you two, AI, no questions asked.
Dude, these two, I literally looked at them like 2 meetings ago. I'm like, you two, AI, okay? I was like, that's all I want you focused on. And they're like, well, we got this. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I was like,
AI only.
AI. I was like, you solve this problem, this problem, this problem. I'm like, in the next 2 weeks, we don't have to hire these like 3 people. I was like, you arm the people that we have with these things. It's going to make their life 1,000 times better. It's actually going to simplify the process, not make it more complex. I go, we hired these 3 people. It makes the process more complex. I go, focus on, give me 2 weeks straight, just focusing on this one problem. If we can fix it. And then today they were showing me everything. I'm like, it's way better than what we got. I was like, bingo, we hit it.
How has the expansion been? I mean, you got a second office. We've talked, briefly. You happy?
Yeah, it was. The only thing that's kind of weird is when you go to the sales office, it's a lot of square footage for not a lot of people there. Because I had a number in my head of what I wanted the sales office to generate. So that number in my head, I thought took 10 salespeople, 3 managers. That number actually takes 3 salespeople, 3 managers. So not near the manpower I thought it needed. So now that office has kind of ended up turning into a little bit of my sanctuary, where I hang out during the day and I'll sit in my office, knock out things, and take appointments. But it's I'm looking at having golf simulator put in over there and stuff, so I can take a lot of meetings over nine holes of golf.
I'm looking for a Kansas City office space. Just need a little cubicle for me.
Yeah, I'll get one in my office.
Perfect.
I've got plenty of room there.
Perfect.
So, yeah, no, it's been awesome, but it's just, once again, I think if you have the right people, they're the ones that make it all work and go around. And we've ended up with a lot of amazing people in both offices. And like I said, the product and the service is elevated so much. We've stepped into a high dollar clientele realm too. We're closing a lot of accounts that are at $20K plus a month now. Right. So I thought as we would scale up and get against larger marketing firms, I thought competition would get harder. Found it's the complete opposite. Mm-hmm. So we're going against marketing firms now that run as law firms. They sell just billable hours. Most of these marketing agencies are just paying for a bunch of hours of people to think about shit. They're not paying for results.
Right.
To where it's like, it's actually harder to go bid the $5,000, $7,000, $12,000 a month accounts than the $20,000 accounts. But to go bid the 20 plus, you got to have a hell of an arsenal to be able to hit every single position, every point of market that we can actually do now. It's taken us years to acquire all those different puzzle pieces to be able to execute. But it's, I don't know, some days.
Makes sense.
Some days I look at the stuff that we're bidding and I'm looking at the proposals that we put together now. I'm like, this came from us? I was like, that's sick. I'm like,
AI wrote it.
But it's like, I mean, they sit there and they generate through there. They sit there and they work on that stuff. And then like we build out, we have these like heat maps for different clients too, that like when we start putting together these heat maps, I'm like, what system are we in here? And Logan's like, yeah, you can, these spreadsheets, he goes, we can pull all the data in from their POS systems and we can target where every single person that's came in from. And he's like putting this all together and it's like shows set volumes in every zip code, radiuses, and like all this stuff is built out in this map. And I'm like, he sends it over to me and I'm like, I'm going to send that to the client real fast. I like send it over and they're sending like, dude, this fucking sick. And I'm like, yeah, I thought the same thing when it was sent to me. I'm like, I don't know how it was done.
That's what, we've done a lot of that here in last year, probably. Yeah. We've brought in a bunch of different software and portals that sync with one another that has made us more efficient to where we're able to capitalize on just tracking things, whether it's Tractics.
Yep.
I mean, when they come on board, I mean, it's still up and coming, but what it has done for us and how we're wanting to be able to track and see where job costing is, and looking at our estimating software, everything marries to one another. And here lately, Houston and Ian, they're sending me stuff. I'm just going, what the fuck? See, I'm mind blown on certain things to where, hell, I just used to shoot from the hip, which I'm actually pretty accurate shooting from the hip. When you start looking at the numbers, like, yeah,
I would make a hell of a cowboy.
But just the caliber that we're coming and the player that we're becoming in our industry, those are the things you have to do, and it's neat to see how all that stuff works.
I'll say that Tractics deal, I remember the first time I talked to Tyler, I thought it was like this much. And then he goes, can you get me a meeting with CP? Because he knew we worked together. So Tractics was in the office right behind us in the River Market. I met this guy, and he was like, yeah, we do. We have software for excavating companies. I was like, well, I have a buddy that has an excavating company. And he's like, can you get me a meeting with him? I was like, I don't set meetings up for people to get sold on shit.
Yeah.
And then I think we were sitting having drinks one night, and you were talking about something software-wise. And I was like, if you're talking about that, I'm like, I have no part in this. And then this guy with Tractics, he goes, I'll pay you a referral or something like that. I'm like, I don't want any money from the deal. I was like, I'll just bring you guys into the same room. You guys can talk. If something comes of it. I go, I'm being very clear with Cory too, that I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. They sit down, they start going over 5,000 different things. I'm like, I go, boys, I'm just going to be here to drink, hang out. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, at all.
That's with AI.
And they start going in. He's like, yeah. He goes, you can run hours on guys when their phones touch job sites and everything. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. I'm like, yeah. But yeah,
I think we're right at a year with Tractics. Getting close to a year. So I mean, there's been a lot. I mean, they've embraced it, like we have. Tyler's great to work.
Oh yeah, they
hit it off, but just their overall team. I mean, This is up and coming software and trying to keep up with. We don't have anything on the industry, so they're developing software on a day-to-day basis, or trying to rewrite it, as they go. And what's unique is their owner or the president of Tractics, he has his own excavation. He's involved in civil, so it's been unique to see how he wanted the software to go. Then you take what we do here, trying to intertwine them. They work for him, they didn't work for us. But what's been cool is they've been able to basically write the software how we operate. And I don't know if we're just giving that much more information to them compared to the one. They're getting a lot of different insight. But I think they got something that's going to kick off and just freaking boom.
The other thing, too, though, is once again, we talk about how to elevate a product. And it's the communication you get from who you're working with. And it's, as we've went forward, I can say all these different things that we've changed and stuff like that. I think the thing that's elevated more than anything else is our communication side of increasing, one of our core values is effective communication. And I mean, we went back and forth if it was supposed to be communication, but you can ineffectively communicate too. To where it's effectively communicating with the people that we work with is only going to better serve what we deliver. Or it's the same thing. There are certain clients that we fire clients because they're just so bad at communication.
So you were almost going to fire me because I didn't communicate with you very well?
No, you communicate with me great. Just nobody else in the company. But it's we've had people that you can't get a hold of them. They don't, and then all of a sudden you get on a report and they're like, well, yeah, these ads aren't working. I'm like, we tried to call you 3 weeks ago to go over the ads to see what's working. We get no feedback from you. It's a two-way relationship. So just understanding that communication, I know what type of person you are, so I know working with Tyler, you're probably giving him every bit of feedback that he's looking for, and he's looking at you as the unicorn he was looking to develop his product.
Yeah.
He was like, I need one person that is going to say, like, I want to grow my company so bad that I'm willing to take 3 steps backwards and focus on what this product can do and what this software can do to develop it to make it better for me. And he was like, I know that's exactly what he needed. So it's the same thing. Like when we get people that like just give us true, honest feedback of things, that's like you and I have always been straight with one another, good, bad, and different, whatever it was. Like when you call and you're like, hey man, the content, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I like hearing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm the problem. I'm shooting your content. Like I hate hearing it. Like I love doing that content. But if we get content people out there, it then plays into the system that we've built. Because CP and Jamaica's were the last 2 in the system that they weren't in the MMG system. They lived in Dane's system. So I had my life going on. I had all these different things going on business-wise, and I'm trying to fit in these 2 things that are still like, I'm trying to cater to your schedule. I'm trying to cater to Tony's schedule. And it's like, you're busy. I'm busy. It was just trying to align those stars. Now we can have content guys out there every single month, and it plays in the system great, and like it moves so much smoother.
Right. No, it definitely does. I hadn't been a part of that until yesterday, so I can see it. And I'm not knocking you, but it's different. I mean, they got the freaking whiteboard out there right in there. Here's your script. I'm like, I don't need no freaking script.
Yeah, you're like, Dane just runs around with the camera and I'm just whatever's happening is happening.
No. This is what we want you to talk about. Okay, here's your piece of paper.
I think I filmed one video with Cory that we like scripted it out. We're out of the mind. It was on your hiring ad. That's the first time I literally like look around the camera. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm like, you. You got made fun of so much.
Dude, the ad was great, but it was funny when we went out there and we start filming. Like Cory just always hits stuff. I'm like, all right, this is what you need to say. He's like, all right. And then I like start rolling, and he fumbles at 10 Ways to Tuesday, and he like looks at me. I'm like,
I freaking hated that day.
I was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, you film all the time, like.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, but I don't like have something I have to say, and that was probably the hardest thing we ever had to film together.
It was
for sure.
It was a hit though.
It was a hit.
It was a good one. We still attached
Oh,
that
I used to get. So after that, you really need that many people? Yeah. We knew what we had coming up. I mean, it was a big hit. Probably the wrong time of year because that was December, January.
Yep.
And or it might have just been January. Winter sucked. You know, we thought things were going to move a little quicker. So we're getting all these applicants in. It was the way to do it. We were probably 2 months, too early just because of the way the winter ended up falling. We had the applicants out the wazoo on that whole thing.
But the other thing too, though, is like I tell people, so when the market's down, most people all pull back in marketing. Marketing dollars, like when things dip, like you have seasonal companies. Like I look at landscape companies. I have thought so much about like getting a group of people together that we start all these different like blue collar companies. They just find a badass operator and they get 15, 20% of the company. And then we just handle the marketing forefront and the capital raise and everything to move them, because companies get so weak in times when they're not actually having invoices paid. But I look at it as like that's when market share goes on sale.
Oh, yeah.
So you look at that time, like nobody's doing anything. Like everything's stagnant. Where then you go hit market. It's the same thing. Like we have landscape companies that will do it. That we have big landscape companies that they go in at those times and they start capturing all this work. But every small guy out there is like, well, I'm not spending money during these months. That's fucking stupid. I was like, yeah, dude, you really got it fucking figured out. Like you're a fucking genius, buddy.
The only downfall on that whole ad was, we had guys, it was just rolled. You've seen them.
Yeah.
We had 28 days of snow, or just it was white. Well, projects were shut down. It's like, well, we want to go work tomorrow. Hey, we're not able to. There's 2 foot of frost in the ground. There's 12 inches of snow. We ended up getting some great employees on the whole deal, but that was just the negative effect by doing it in the off season, hiring somebody. But also the positive, it got us out there when we said, we're loaded with work. There were some people that believed in us and in that whole ad. And they hung around.
Yeah.
They waited that 30 days. They were probably more financially stable to where they could. But once we got going, I mean, we haven't been stopping ever since it,
But sometimes it's like, I look at it too in those times. If you go through that and you catch 2 A players out of 30, it's a win.
Yeah.
Like any A player that you can capitalize on and you can catch, like today, like we have a case study on that ad set alone. That you're looking at, like, even though it's for employment, it still is a lead gen style ad. But you're looking at lead gen at $3.25 of what those were coming in at. Like, that's unheard of. But when you look at that, my thing is there's been times every position of MMG as it's moved forward, I've crossed A players that want to work at MMG, and I haven't even hesitated. I don't even care what the workflow looks like. I'm just like, yep, let's ride.
Right.
And people have looked at me that when I pulled out the line of credit out against my house, I pulled a $150,000 line of credit out against my house to put at Facebook ads. That's when I pulled the trigger on Ricky and Lauren. I sat with my wife and I was like, I told Madison, I was like, I'm hiring these 2. She's like, you don't have enough work to keep you guys busy, let alone 2 more people. I was like, I don't want to look back and think I missed these people. I was like, finding work's a lot easier than it is finding people. I was like, I'm going to swing on them. And I was like, I'll find the work. But it's like at every point I found the work. But every single time, like the right people, like Darby reached out to me on Instagram. And I mean, Darby was slinging drywall. And I mean, he's like, he was like, hey, he goes, he's like, next time you're hiring someone on the marketing side, he's like, can I throw my name in the hat? I was like, yeah, 100%. And I remember I knew him from college, and Logan and Dalton go meet with him and everything. And they're like, no, I really like him. He's got a good work ethic. He's like, I don't know what his like overall marketing background is. I looked at both of them and I was like, you guys didn't have any marketing background when I brought you guys on.
True.
I was like, I'll bet on people. And I mean, Gayman has busted his ass ever since. Like, I told Dalton and Logan, I was like, keep stacking them up, keep stacking them up. I was like, keep stacking them up. They keep throwing more and more and more and more fucking work on his plate. And I'm like, fucking break him. Like, I try to break people when they come in. I want to find out what your breaking point is.
You been broke yet?
No.
So the wild thing was he kept taking on more work. And we're at a spot that I'm like, I go, guys, is he paying someone else to help him with this? I'm like, how is this happening? I was like, I go, there's no way he's holding this many accounts and like getting this kind of feedback from clients and it's working. I was like, we're missing something here. And because I was already looking at like getting, like they have like virtual assistants, they have people that help them with a lot of their like day-to-day tasks. I've been like looking into that, but I want somebody to know what their breaking point is for when that happens. It's like a huge relief from them that they know what that like true workload looks like. And I remember talking with Dalton Logan, and they're like, I go, find out how Darby's getting all that work done. And he was like, he was going home after his daughters would go to bed at night. He'd get back on his laptop and work into the night, get it all scheduled where all of his posts were scheduled for the next day when he'd come in so he could handle everything else. And I was like, never said a word about it, never broke positivity, like everything, just like, but I'll bet on that 10 out of 10 times. But it's like, same thing. It's like, I know everyone in here will do the same thing. But it's like, that's when you get people around you that you can count on. That's why I'll swing at those huge fucking deals that I'm like, I don't know how we're going to handle it. But I'm like, you know what? I know I got the right people around me to do it. So it's cool to see that happen and press people and see them like, it also builds confidence in people, I feel like when people experience that workload, experience that pressure, and they win. Right. But I think it's just a competitor spirit. And if I have people that fully fucking buckle under a load that's not real big, I know that's not the person I want. Yeah. Like, you know, if when times are you going to be able to count on that person when we do have some fucking crazy thing off the wall that we swing at and we get it? better know I can count on everybody.
Yeah.
So I always look at it as A players, you can't pass them.
Yeah, this one we clap, right?
Oh, now you want to clap.
Now you want to fucking clap?
Since we're at the peanut gallery.
They're going to cancel our show now.
Yeah.
Since we're at the peanut gallery question. What's one big lesson you two have learned from each other? Or one major takeaway from that question?
One big lesson that we have learned from each other. You start. I've been talking a lot. You start.
Probably one of the biggest things is just the positivity. I mean, the charisma. Dane carries that very highly, and I look up to that. I mean, there's days I've been down. You and I can talk, and just your overall outlook, just your morning videos. I do listen to them. Maybe not every day, but pops up there, and I'm on Instagram or whatever. I see it, but just knowing that you're out there doing it, and I look up to that. I think we need that as entrepreneurs. You need that sidekick. You need that other guy that's out there, boots on the ground, pushing for his dreams. That just reminds you, and that I'd say that's the big, just your positivity. Because I know I can be a negative person. I can get pissed and start yelling and I just, hey, what's Dane gonna do? How would he handle that situation? So I'm grateful for that and know that I have somebody that I can look on my right that use that as an example. So that's probably the biggest takeaway, and I think that has really been why you've been so successful. I mean, you're able to just take people and elevate them, and I'm one of those guys. So I'm gonna not to be mushy, but you know,
it is something that I've always just looked at life as I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very grateful for all of it, and business and everything like that. It's all just a byproduct of whatever we do. Give me one of those two. It's just a byproduct of what we do. It's something that none of it's enough to affect my day and anything like that, and it's something I've looked to a lot, and I speak about CP and your journey a lot to a lot of clients. I feel like you're the definition of the American dream being alive and well. That I'm working on things with nonprofits in Kansas City to help develop the future kids coming up, that college isn't the only route. That go help build America. That there's a different avenue. Like I was forced into the college route. Mm-hmm. Like, and the crazy thing is I went to the marketing space because I just sat at a table and I saw a space that was so messed up that's why I went into marketing. If I had a choice to run a company and do a company of what I wanted to do, like if I had one dream company of what I did, I'd be in excavating. Like it was just something I grew up in skid loaders. I grew up in tractors and things like that. Like I've enjoyed those things. Or watching somebody build a business around that and build something that also it's like, you talk about having the balls to do something. Like I think a lot of times, like when I'm taking a big risk or something, I'm like, Cory, do this? I'm like, yeah, fuck Cory, do this. I'm like, you'd call me a bitch if I didn't do it. I was like, so then it's like, if you're going to swing. But it's like, just have the confidence when you're doing it. But it's like, when I remember when we were sitting in the river market, we podcasted the first time, you were telling me about the mining side. When you're telling me about having a truck, a trailer, and a skid loader starting and like all these things and how it all transpires to where you're at today. That can I control next week? No. I can control today. Tomorrow when I get up, I can control tomorrow. One day at a time, keep the needle moving. But it's just, that stuff all compounds. And it's like, there's days I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm tired as shit. I'm like, Cory was probably out fighting fires or some shit last night. Probably. Like, dude's also the chief of fire for Cameron on top of all that. Also is farming a bunch of land now and like all these other things. Like I call him, he's out like in a combine and I'm like, bro, for real? Like you don't have like, or I call him, we're talking on the phone at night. He's going to check cattle.
I get bored easy.
I'm like, if you didn't have enough fucking things to do already.
Yeah.
So I also just look at setting a standard for the way that people run and operate. And there's people that just set the gold standard of how to operate and you're setting the gold standard. So keep setting that.
Appreciate it.
Good question, Alex.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Dre's over here fucking booing us. And then Alex is coming out of left field with good questions.
Had to say the peanut gallery reputation.
Yeah.
You know, that was really...
He put it in AI.
Come on, man.
That was from ChatGPT. Any thoughts down there, Darby?
No, I think it's pretty cool. Just what I've seen you guys, how much you've grown just in the year that I've been managing you guys' account. So looking forward to all the things that we can do in the future for sure. Yeah. So,
You know, it took a lot of faith in Darby to hand over your guys' account, just so you know.
Yeah, I was surprised that you actually handed it over.
Yeah, it was a...
Fair enough.
It was
Fair
kind of like a mutiny thing that it was taken from
I
me.
mean, it was really shit when you and I are involved.
It really was. I mean, when it did come together, it was cool.
Yeah.
When it happened.
But it
Just-
took a year. It took a year to.
It just-
Oh, hey, we finally did it.
Yeah, it just took a lot of time to connect it all the time. Yeah.
Right.
Darby.
No, not at all. Yeah, every 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Because it took 4 months just to get something together.
But don't worry, we would miss content, but we'd go shut down 54th Street together.
That's true. That's true. I do appreciate it.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Fine.
Haven't really said a whole lot.
What do you want me to say?
I already said it all.
Yeah.
We were just taking it all in.
Yeah.
Well, we never had any of the mining guys on. Austin's been, like I said, it's been 5 years. So, like, we really needed to show appreciation to that side of things because they've been a major part of our growth in the last 5 years. And he's seen it from day one.
Yeah.
All the ups and downs, the pains. You know, where we're prosperous to where, you know, oh, you need to go move 100,000 yards? That's a lot of dirt. Now it's, I need you to move 1 million yards. We're looking to do 2 million, and that's it. You know, that's what's been unique about how we've evolved. And, you know, we freaked out when it was 100,000 yards. So, and, I mean, we're doing that in a week.
Pretty much.
You know, between the crews.
It's
So
nothing to average anywhere from 7,500 to 10,000 yards a day with the right amount of equipment. I mean,
Yeah. So
we can move a lot of dirt.
it's been impressive. It's been impressive.
That's 10,000 yards. We're just gonna act like Dre didn't say anything from the couch.
chair that you're sitting in is a 3x3x3, so that's a cubic yard. I'm being serious. Acres wise? Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. I mean, an acre. Yeah.
You don't even have a mic. Dre doesn't even have a mic.
That's the AI.
Anybody listening to this will be like, who the fuck's this guy talking to?
An acre, 43,000 square foot, and I'm rounding down, so it's just a little over 43.
It's about a quarter.
Hey, you're supposed to be the financial. You're the CFO of this company.
Dude, sometimes my
I'm throwing numbers
CFO
at
throws
you.
out numbers, and I'm like, you bro, really?
And I'm throwing numbers at him, and he's like, check, I'm out.
Yep. Like,
Hey,
Final
3
thoughts.
by 3 by 3? 3 by 3 is what you're sitting in. That's a cubic yard of dirt.
we've derailed. We've derailed.
So we're
Dre.
we're moving 7,500 of those on a
Look.
daily basis.
Not 7,500 loads.
75
That's what it sounded like. I thought you said it.
Yards.
Those.
Alex came out with a great question. Dre came out with fucking a math question about yards.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Where's CP going from here? What's
Oh, yeah.
your, like, I want to hear long-term vision. Like, what do you want?
long-term vision for CP.
Yeah, Dre, you can't be a part of the audience anymore.
Dre's getting beat.
You're out. You suck. You need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting yelled at now from being a guy.
Do it.
Where do you see CP long-term vision? Let's say 3 years, 5 years, 10. Legacy of CP.
So I'm gonna put a little twist to this. I want Austin to answer, and then I'll follow up. I want to get his perspective, what he's viewed in 5 years.
Okay.
Where we've come from or where we're going.
Where you're going?
What he said future, and then he said something about the legacy.
Huh.
Stumped him.
Cory was trying to give himself time to think about it.
Exactly.
I do the same thing sometimes. I'm like, you know what, Darby, what are your thoughts down there?
Really, in 5 years, I mean, continue doing what we are, but at a faster, more efficient pace. Because sure, they want to say that we need to move this amount in this amount of time, but it would always be better if we could do it quicker. Because on the way down here, we was talking about places that we just came from that they're already panicking about. We need to figure out how to get back there and I guess get more rock uncovered, because they're already seeing future projects that are going to be coming out of there. And with what the workload we already have, we aren't. It's not looking well for us. In
5 years, the state of Missouri's gone.
No,
It's one big mine site.
Not to that extent. Not to that
Whole
extent.
state gone.
I mean, that's what he was saying.
No, we just need to, I guess, just figure out how to get more efficient with it and continue growing as we have for the last 5 years. Because when we first started, like you said, we didn't have a damn clue what we was doing. I mean, trucks were backing up, turning around, and it wasn't working.
Be fair.
We had to figure out how
To be
do it
fair, I
properly.
showed up to a job site, trucks were backing up, and Cory was pretty pissed.
Yeah, you don't back up.
Yeah.
And they still do it.
It's always the little things that we can figure out to save 5 seconds here, 10 seconds there. And at the end of the day, I mean, even if a truck's getting 5 more loads throughout the day, 5 more loads every day, 5 days a week, that's a lot of dirt. I mean, it adds up quick. So just the little things there, that would be. And then I guess as far as the legacies, be one of the best ones to do it. I mean, you sit there, we joke about it. You get on a Gold Rush and we see them guys sit there and the stuff that they do, and we're like, you guys are fucking idiots. What are they doing? Like, that makes no sense.
That's television, though.
we need to go up there and show them how to do it. So,
Hey, one of these days when the CP TV show's out there, we'll show them all how it's done.
Yeah. There might be some drama with it, but hey, that's TV,
hey,
right?
we got a couple of guys that are real good at drama.
Austin's one of them. So.
I can stir some shit.
Like, hey, camera crew's coming out, get some shit going. They give you enough time to think.
Oh yeah, I already know where we're going. You know, it's go back to 10 years ago when a guy feels like he just wants to take a skid steer, maybe one guy, and he'll go try to make a living. There was never a dollar amount to that. It was just, hey, I want to be able to afford to pay my bills. I want to make sure I can give a roof over the head. And from what we've done from there to now has exceeded well above what my expectations were at that point. 5 years from that point, my expectations had surpassed to what my original expectations were. And here we are at year 10. Yeah, I've told you the vision about, being out on the highway and you come across these guys like Emery Sapp, Herzog, Ideckers. These companies been around since the 70s, 60s and 70s. I want to be them. You see how prosperous they are. You see how each employee that is there is prosperous. I mean, they built this dynasty. That's how I see things. That is my ultimate goal, which turns into the legacy. We're year 10. I never ever would have thought at year 1 we would be on I-35, 3 miles from our shop, getting ready to reconstruct 16 miles of highway. With the skid steer, but has it been a dream? Has it been a vision? Did I ever think that we would never get to that point? But to be able to do that in 10 years with my mindset, I can't see it. I don't have it's endless. The opportunities are endless in another 10 years. Are we out there? Are we in Florida? Are we in Indiana, Ohio? Are we on the West Coast, Nevada, South Dakota? Those are the things I think about now. It isn't just the Midwest and in our 4-state region. Where are we taking CP from here to 10 years? That's my vision now. And are we self-performing everything? Are we able to provide a service to the nation, not just our hometown, not just the state of Missouri, not just Kansas? That's where I'm thinking now. There's going to be several steps to that, but I'm not going to settle for less. As far as legacy, I want to be known as CP. It isn't me personally. I know people tie my name to CP, but I want everybody to look at CP as it's a group of people that are able to provide a service, a quality service, trustworthy service. When we call them, we know what we're going to get. It don't matter what the cost of it is. But that is the legacy that I want CP to become. It has nothing to do with me. I've already taken care of me. And what I mean by that is, Cory Phillips, when he started that and he developed that brand, when he made it through the first year, when people said he wasn't going to survive, I've already met my goal. I'm happy. But the overall legacy and where I want CP to go, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with everybody else that's involved. And everybody that's involved with that, I want them to take that home with them. We were a part of this organization. We went from doing $100,000 a year to $100 million to $200 million. That is what I want our legacy. And again, it ain't about the money, but it's I want people to be prosperous. And I want everybody to be happy. And it's tough. I mean, you're not always going to please everybody. You're not always going to have a happy employee that they're not making enough. But it's just the overall process. That is my goal. I want to see that when I'm 70, 75. I would love for my boys to be taken over, at that point. Or, shoot, we may be employee-owned. That's another thing. I keep, be employee-owned to where everybody has their dividends in it. They're getting their kickbacks, their investment. That is my goal. We're going to get there. And ultimately, I think it's going to happen fast.
So we're not stopping. The one thing I've been off almost every single day since I've opened this is underestimating what manpower yields. That I always calculated my goals based on what I was yielding, what current movement looked like. You go throw 10 more people at that, it moves a lot faster.
Yeah. You
throw an extra 80 hours a day at something, it goes a lot faster. MMG moves at a pace now in a day of what used to take us over a month. Mm-hmm. And I mean, much more efficiently. Where it's like, I look at now, when you run between 80 and 90 employees, what you look at in a year, you look at 12 months from now when you have 160, and it's moving that in 3 to 6 months, because ultimately too, when you go to 160, 170, 180, 190, like, and you start knocking on those numbers, what happens in that phase is processes get more efficient, more effective. What you guys are doing, you end up yielding actually a better return with twice the amount of people, because all those things get fixed in between. So what we did with 20 people to what we do with 40, that curve that comes with that of increase, that you may at 20 employees have a 10% net yield. But then when you hit the 40 people, you may be at a 20% net yield. But you can change that as you go. Like, and that's what I miscalculated it over and over and over. Right. That when we put more manpower and more A players at something, and people that come with a different perspective, that look at doing something differently, and being open-minded to hearing people, like, it's everything's happened way faster than I thought it was going to. So
definitely does.
It's a great thing.
Oh, shoot. I get told day in and day out, we can't keep up with you. And I think that's just the driving force of the way we think. It's, you're getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning, going till 10, 11 at night, little sleep. That's what keeps things moving. And I promise you, no, you're not going to keep up with me. We have a different mindset. And you have to keep going if you're going to be successful. If you're going to carry this load, you got to put your head down and you have to drive. I keep doing it. Keep doing it.
One thing I will say, though, since I've been with Cory, like, the entire time, if we don't know what we're doing, he'll tell you point blank, we don't know, but we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to figure it out and make sure that we do it. I mean, that's been a staple, I guess you could say, from day one, that we'll tell you. I mean, we may not know, but we'll definitely figure out a way to do it and figure out a way to make sure that we do get it done.
I'd rather somebody be honest with me about not knowing how to do it. I'm not going to say on the sales side a little bit. Sometimes you got fib there, but I'm talking as a company. Like, I feel like I've always been very clear with the company of things that, like, I don't have some little, like, golden book in my desk that tells me how to do everything. Like, there's a lot of times I call people that are in a very close network with myself that I call for insights. Like, there's times that some days, like, you talk about positivity, where I find a lot of my positivity sometimes is, like, when I have the world that feels like it's pressuring down on me, I call the people that I know that are experiencing a lot of those same things. Right. And it's like, you can say, oh, I might be that positive outlet for you, but there's days that you're that for me. But I think just as you progress, having those people and having all of that just makes the whole system go round, and not being someone that says, like, hey, I got this all figured out. Like, if I say I got it all figured out, then we fall on our face. You're like, well, you didn't really have that all figured out. I tell you straight up, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And we fall on our face. I'm like, I told you I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I was very upfront about that. Like, when I met with Alex the first time, I told him, I was like, hey, bro, like, I was acquiring his company. He was joining us. And I told him, I was like, just so you know, I got like a professional shit show going on. And he's like, dude, it can't be that bad. I was like, no.
It's bad.
I was like, I have the hardest working group of human beings you're going to cross. I go, we just have no processes for anything.
It just works.
We just worked a lot. Like, we were just out working everybody. And when he showed up, he's like, no, you got a shit show going on.
Yeah.
But it's like, I didn't sugarcoat it. I didn't lie to him about it. Like, same thing when we have our leadership meetings, like, hey, we're going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's sling it. You get way more buy-in for that. Also, when something doesn't work out, then you can revert back to, like, hey, that didn't work. Told you.
Yeah.
Let's try something else.
Well, you've heard me say often, I know I've said it even in this podcast, we're going to fail. You're going to fail. It's how you redeem yourself. And an analogy I use often too is we may lose the battle. I promise you, I'm going to win the fucking war. And that is a guarantee. I'm okay with losing here and there. I may be a sore loser, but we're going to win the war. And that's what elevates us, not only me as an individual, but at CP. I try to instill that in everybody. Failure isn't an option, but we will fail. It's a twist to it, but we will fail. But it's how you redeem yourself from that point. And if you understand that and know, you will win more than you will lose. That's just my motto.
Couldn't agree more.
We got a question in the audience.
Hopefully it's Baron Dre's question. Yeah, Dre got fired.
I was gonna say Dre's. So now you guys are getting a little like reflective here on your guys' successes and getting into that point of like now we're really starting to succeed. What has been a moment when you reflect on from where you were to where you are now? Like you can identify this was a big turning point for my company, my business, my outlook on how we operate or whatever. Like identify something that where there's the small marketing company that's watching everything that you do. It's like, how do I get to that point? Or it's the small excavating and mining company that's like, how do I get to where CP is at right now? To where when they're watching this, they're going to sit there and be like, at this crossroads I'm hitting right now, this is what CP did that launched them to that next step. This is what MMG did that launched them to that next
Big
step.
pivotal point on.
You should repeat that.
That was a lot. You were rambling on. I'm hoping he can elevate the audio and pick that up out there. But what a big like pivotal moment is to reflect back on like that growth. That was like that turning point. I'll take this one first, give you a second on it. I think my biggest turning point was when I started trusting the people around me. I think for a long time I didn't think anybody could do something as well as Dane could do it. If you can tell, I'm a very OCD person, just in the way I live my life, the way my house is, the way that everything around me is very detail-oriented, very constructed, very organized. Like I've always been that way. So when having other people around me, I was like, I didn't want to fail a business because someone else messed something up. I think that big turning point was when I finally started believing in the people around me and trusting them that they can handle those things, and it actually made the client experience, because there got to a point where we had too much work and I was dropping the ball all over the place, that there's just so much on my shoulders that mathematically the time didn't work. Mm-hmm. So then people we're working with are reaping the negative because I don't trust the people around me to do what they need to do. So like I was the pitfall to the system. That after I started letting go and letting the system start building, and you also have to build those checkpoints that you can check on, that you can make sure things are going right. And it was that's when I finally felt like I was becoming a business owner. I was becoming someone that like was an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I think that was definitely mine, was believing in everyone around me and trusting the processes that we put in place. And anything that happens in MMG negative, or if we have anything that falls, in no way, shape, or form can I fix it by putting my time into it.
Yeah. Honestly, I can echo everything that he just stated.
Yeah. I might have gotten that from Cory probably on a phone call. Like Cory might have been the one that told me that.
It truly, I mean, I can echo it, and just from a lot of experience. And I'll go back to acquisition in 2020 to where, we doubled in size overnight. Austin, I mean, even to, through the 21, 22, I micromanaged a lot. And
so we used to have to make phone calls. Can we put a ramp in here? Is it okay if we do this? Is it? And then it's just
how material was moved. And it's because I can go to a site and visually see it, and I can see it 10 days from now. And it's just a trait that I have, and especially I was married to and really hard on the mining side because that was a major expansion of us, and with the acquisition, I wouldn't let it go, and it was tough. So it was a hard transition for me to start believing in the people that you hired to do those jobs. And Austin's, we butted heads. I mean, we've had some heart to heart. I mean, he's flat out told me, hey, you hired me to do this, but when you question me for what I'm doing, it stabs me. It bothers me. It hurts me. So I mean, we've had some moments, pivotal moments personally together. When we look at our operations, it's like, all right, Cory, what are you doing wrong as the owner? You've had control of everything, and I did. And it's not just him. I've lost some good managers because I was such a micromanager. My OCD was through the roof. You couldn't move unless you called and asked permission, and there were some pivotal moments. It wasn't just a certain time. It took me honestly probably 2 years to experience the downfalls and understanding. Okay, these guys, I'm going to pick on you and I. Marketing and content never got anywhere when you and I were there because we were so busy. We couldn't get to the phone calls. We couldn't get the scheduling in. Well, when it comes to these guys, I was doing nothing but hindering progress because they couldn't get a hold of me, or they need to verify this is what we needed to do. But when I let go of the reins, I still had the reins, but when I let go of certain responsibilities and give it to the guys that I know need, that we hired to do that task, or the guys that I know that I trust to do those tasks, that was a pivotal moment in CP that we were able to expand our operations. Like, I know I can throw, 3 million yards at Austin, say go do it. We've been talking for me to go visit one of his sites for the last freaking 6 weeks. I still ain't been there. I even told him this week, I'm coming this week, I promise. It's Wednesday, and I still ain't been there. Not going to be there tomorrow.
It's like, there's nothing, I mean, if you got other shit going on, there's no point in wasting the time to come out here because there's nothing, that I need you to come out here and look at. I mean, everything's going fine. We're getting it done. There's no point in you wasting your time to come out here. And, that's what needs done.
And to the last point, when we're talking about the legacy side and letting people prosper, I think a lot of times people look at letting someone prosper as from a financial state.
Oh, not at all.
Letting someone prosper is becoming great at what they do.
Great.
And it's like, that's what I've learned with everyone here is like them prospering is not a financial movement. And that's what I used to always like run in my head. Them prospering, becoming great.
Life in general.
Is letting them do all the things, and they build that confidence. They put these things like I put tasks on them, and they execute over and over. And now it's gotten to where we have leadership meetings that they come up with ideas, they execute the tasks. And sometimes I'm like sitting in a leadership meeting that I've put together, and then I'm like, what was my position? I didn't have a role in this today. But it's just, if I can go down for one thing, I want to go down for assembling the best team that's ever been fucking assembled.
Yeah.
If I can have that one accolade, I'll take it.
Yep.
But it's let people prosper in that area, because as you build out those sites, as you do those things, you prosper as who you are, and that confidence comes tenfold.
And that's one thing you guys was asking at the beginning of when did we realize that we could do it was, I feel like in 19, it may have been 20, whenever we went to Brights, when we showed up to Savannah Quarry, we was told we was going to have, I don't remember what it was at the time. It was a lot more than we'd ever moved because it was the third quarry that we'd been in. And when we realized that we could do it, I feel like that gave us a lot of confidence when we finished that it was like, all right, this is something that we can do. And
that was our movement.
Yeah, that was when we realized the mining side was
I think this might be the first podcast today we just lost a member. Tarvy's got $2 at home. He has to go put to bed. Wah.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. Here we go.
Yeah.
No,
I knew this wasn't going to be a fast podcast.
Yeah, well, it never is.
No.
And if this is part of our final, prosperous, I don't care if you make $50,000 a year, $20,000 a year, or if you make $2 million a year. Prosperous has nothing to do with your financial stability.
No.
Because I know a lot of people that are $50,000, dollar a year income. They're the most happiest, prosperous people or individuals in the world. And it's just their take on life.
Well, that just goes back to the thing when we first started is everything's on social media. So it's the people that just fuck it. I mean, it is what it is.
I know some people that have jets that are fucking miserable. I know people.
Yeah,
I've told
100%.
my wife since the day I started MMG. I told her, I go, if there's a guarantee, it'll be a day that MMG is big enough that I can own jets and everything else like that. I go, that's a guarantee. I go, if I get to that point, I don't have anyone to get on that jet with me. I know I fucked the whole entire thing up.
Yeah.
I was like, that. I know guys that have jets that they don't have a soul to get on that plane with them. Like my thing right now, like I've been looking at like 8 and 10 seater jets. I'm like, I can't afford like a Gulfstream 550, but I'm like, I can't pick just 10 people to go on this plane with me. I was like, I got a lot more people I need to take. But It's like my whole movement the whole time to think about it has been what I can do for the people around me and how cool that movement's going to be for the people that I'm friends with. Like, it's always been my thought process behind it. But there's so many people I think that they think they're going to buy some item that happiness is found in. You're never going to buy an item that happiness is found in. I ran that pathway in the car world. I thought this house when I bought it. I bought this house at 21 years old.
I will tell you.
I don't know. I've had a lot of fun on some dumb
I'm
shit.
getting ready to say. I can go get into a dozer these days, and that's happiness.
But it's like, but it's like it's one of those things that whatever you buy, it's going to lose ether. The ether that you get, that those endorphins that your brain releases, that the first time I got a new Denali pickup, I was on Cloud 9 driving around. I'm driving around Liberty. I was probably the coolest.
Denali.
I was probably the coolest guy in Liberty. No shit. Like I'm driving around. I'm like, everybody's looking at me right now. I'm like, I mean, every person knows who I am. And now I get it, and I get them brand new every year, and it has like, there's nothing to it now. Like that's just part of it.
Pickup.
It's a nice pickup still. Like I'm not going to disagree. Like I like it, but there's no like excitement that comes from it.
Yeah.
And I told Madison, like I'm almost like kind of bummed because I used to have so much excitement for that. But it's like there's no way to revert that. Like you're not going to find like I have nice watches now. Like there's no new excitement that comes with watches. Like you're not going to get to like some other. Like, there's not another watch I'm going to buy them. I'm like, oh my god, I'm happy now. Like
so we gotta go buy a jet. We need new excitement.
It's like, but it's the people that you get to spend it with. Like one of my things that I enjoy more than anything is like this podcast. I give a fuck if anybody listens to it. Say it gets 0 views. We had a great time tonight.
Yeah, true.
I would do this without cameras on us.
Like, I could never tell you if there's 10 viewers or 100 or a million or whatever.
The wild thing is like that's never why I've done this. Like I've told people I've done the podcast for a few different reasons. When I originally started the podcast, I thought it was like a backdoor sales tool. If people were stuck in the funnel, they could go watch podcasts and I could push them out the bottom of the funnel. That it's like, okay, before you come meet with us, if you want to go watch 3 hours of us, you could. I think probably the first 40 episodes, it probably had the reverse effect. Like, if you went and watched those, you're like, I'm definitely not working with these dipshits. So, as we've progressed, I think it probably has a little bit more of a hit to it. Possibly, maybe not. The main reason I've got to where I focus on the podcast so much is I want one day this will be a full documentation of it all.
Hey, man, it's just from where the first podcast to now. I mean, the shit that was said in that podcast is here. I mean,
Right.
It is, and it's like I look at it as one day I'll be gone. I'll have kids, grandkids, everyone else that will walk this planet. I'll be long gone. But they'll be able to watch the whole story of MMG, week over week, having drinks, smoking cigars, doing whatever.
Yep.
They'll be documented. Most people have lost their parents and they don't even have a handwritten letter. They can go watch thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And it's like, I look at that as something that would be more valuable than any amount of money. That I know I'll leave money behind. I know I'll leave all those things. They'll change a legacy and all that. I think this will be cool one day. This will outlive my lifetime.
Yeah. It's interesting to see timelines of the content, not only for MMG, but, CP, from when you first started doing our content, the style of jobs to what we're doing now. You can just see the evolving, of and
It used to be pretty easy. I could throw a drone up and get the whole job site. Now I'm like full it and the drone's maxed out. And it's like, beep, 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 beep. You can't go any higher. I'm like, I can't get the whole job site in the photo.
But it just goes to show you, that tests to our conversation.
Yeah.
So battery's dead on the camera.
We die?
We've reset batteries on both these cameras already.
Sorry.
Never fails. Never fails.
You know what? It's been a great conversation.
Yeah. Been good.
We're down one man. There's 3 left. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's M3 Podcast. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.
I wasn't going to be the pussy that got up.